Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Super excited to see everybody today. We have the live stream up and going, and we are going to cover lots and lots and lots of things. I just realized I don't have my workbook here with me, but that's okay because we've got all the numbers and spreadsheets I'm going to be able to share with you guys via Zoom today. We'll make sure that, and hopefully that doesn't blow up our live stream, but you know what, whatever. If it does, I'll jump back on and you'll be able to get access to another link just minutes after if we have any technical difficulties. So super excited to have everyone here today. Good morning, Dion. Oh, so good to have you. Wasn't sure if you're going to make it. I saw you were on yesterday's First with Mike. You were in the Facebook group. Always good to see you, my friend. Angel, the man. Yeah, I try. Thanks for saying. I try, Angel. Wolfmaster 82, good morning. John Doe, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's been a fun 40. It's been actually a fun week. It's been a tough week. Tough week as a self-managing landlord for sure. A bunch of nights in the single digits, below zero wind chills. And so it's been just a little bit of a challenge this week. We had to get after it a lot, but whew. But you know what? It's all good. It's all good. If it were easy, everybody would do it. So it's all good. Kip Stevens, good morning. Good morning to you. Hip Hop Silver, good morning. It's a great day to have a great day. Couldn't disagree. I mean, couldn't agree anymore. Absolutely wouldn't disagree with that. Crimson Knight 921. Hello, Matt. How was the damage today? Lucky only 7 inches. So only a few $100. I would say my storm bill, I haven't gotten the bill yet. It usually takes them about, we only pay once. We pay the plow guys once a month because it's way too much to pay them for every single property, every single time they plow it. If I had to guess, I would say that storm probably cost me, I'd say probably $4,000. I would guess that storm cost. That's what my guess is. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if that. We'll see how right I am. I'll tell you exactly what it is when it comes in. I know by the end of it, my driver was pretty punchy. My plow guy. So he has, I think, about 40 or 50 driveways and 27 of those are ours. 28 of those are ours. So I'm probably about half his business. But he was somebody that we selected. We had a few plow guys for a few years. And then when a couple retired this year, I just said, hey, if we can set it up where you can take all of it, I'm open to doing that. If you can't, cool, all good. If you can, sweet. And so now we'll see. So yeah, so it'll be a lot more than a couple hundred, but it will be, but it's all relative as far as snow goes. Yeah. So Kenny A, we back. Good morning, Lumberjack family, coming from Indiana. Good morning, Kenny A. Good to have you back. Kip Stevens, how's the family doing? Family's doing well. We're getting ready for another 5-day chemo treatment week. So going to do the live stream with you guys today. And then family time, dinner, all that good stuff. And then tomorrow mid-morning, Eliana and Ashley will leave and go to I will go to Boston and and Eliana will get her first chemo on Monday night. She'll get it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then hydration, and then they'll be home either late Thursday night or Friday morning, but it's considered a 5-day. And so thankfully, 5 days are really hard on everybody. But thankfully we only have, after this 5-day, we only have 1 left. So very grateful for that. So yeah, Eliana's doing great. In fact, we might get a surprise appearance from her today, which I'm excited to see. Get to spend a bunch of time with her this morning. Usually when she's awake, for obvious reasons, she's usually attached to mom. And I have the other 2, the 4-year-old and the 2-year-old. So it's good. So thanks for asking, Kip. Crimson Knight, still got a flat roof to clear. Yes, that is a party. We don't usually clear after for 8 inches. We won't usually clear it with 8 inches, a flat roof. Or I won't jump up there and clear it off anymore. It'll be something that guys get to tomorrow. So we particularly don't handle it with urgency, but depends on the roof, depends on how you feel about that, all that other good stuff. John Doe got down to 32 Fahrenheit in Central Florida. Well, I'm used to dealing with 8 inches of snow. You guys aren't used to 32 Fahrenheit in Florida. So yeah, you guys must have had, you guys might even have had to turn heat on and wear your 3 layers, your normal t-shirt, then a sweatshirt, and then a jacket. Could happen. Drew A liked and commented, good morning. How much do you pay him per driveway? Good question. So it depends on the driveway size. So it depends on the driveway size because we literally have some that are just drop the blade and push. We have others that are very intricate. We have others that are super, super easy. And then we have a couple smaller parking lots we have a 12 unit building that has about 20 spaces in it. And I have a 6 unit building that has about 14 spaces in it. And so those are obviously much more. And then he also does, for those of you who don't, always talk to a plow guy about potentially doing like a coat of sand first, because if you sand it first and then it snows on top of that, it actually comes up a whole lot easier. And so as part of my package price, there's prep there. So we'll do sand, then it snows, then however many times he has to go back, which is usually once, but sometimes it's twice and then some cleanup. So it's once and some cleanup or twice and some cleanup. But that last layer of snow comes up awesome and really, really, really good. So we end up with really clean driveways afterwards. Then we just kind of watch to see if it then needs to be salted. So we have a full-on package and process that we do. And so my guys are used to doing our process. And so that's why they have a job here, or a contract. I don't have any employees. So that's how we do it. JC Blast, howdy everyone. Howdy, JC. Kip Stevens, prayers. Yeah, love for the family. Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, we're excited to continue our weekly process and walking through our miracle, because she's a miracle. 8% survival rate, and usually they don't see the kids resistant at all, or they are resistant to the chemo and it's not working, and we're just super blessed that we're getting a miracle. Yeah, super blessed. Yeah, she's doing really well. She is doing really well, my little nugget. Crimson Knight. Yeah, but snow and rain Friday. Yep. So want to clear the roof. Yeah, there's 40 degrees 2 days before that too, though. So I think you'll probably get melt. But yeah, I mean, teach their own. All good. Tiffany White, howdy. Hey, Tiffany White. For those of you guys who haven't checked out, so Tiffany White has an awesome channel. I think she breeds angelfish. It's pretty cool. The kids and I will turn it on. We'll watch it. Some of her videos. So yeah, it's been cool stuff. Drew A, moving to Boston for work. Any recommendations on decent market near there? Boston market sucks. It does. Looking for better areas to house hack. So, all right, I'm not going to give you the political correct answer. Roxbury, if you carry a firearm, their rents are more reasonable. Quincy has some decent places. It's the town's just outside the city. It's on the south side of the city. I lived in Quincy for a couple of years. There's some decent spots in there. Pretty much everywhere all around Boston is pretty expensive. Somerville, crazy expensive because you're going to compete with Tufts students a lot. And also some Emerson. I think it's Emerson students. Yeah. Me personally, my feeling on the best market for value is a town called Billerica. Billerica. Yep. Look it up. Billerica. We call them Billericas. Yeah. You got to go to Billerica. So it's Billerica is how we pronounce it when you're from here, but it looks like Billerica. But Billerica is Tom Glavine, the retired Hall of Fame pitcher is from there. So yeah, Billerica is about it's just on the other side of Burlington, and Burlington is a big, huge tech hub. And so, but you can get to the city, in 45, half hour, 45 minutes. If you want a short commute, no such thing. Unless you're, yeah, there's everything around there is just super crazy expensive or gross. I was down there. I had the chance to invest in that market. I ran. I didn't walk, I ran. But congratulations on the job. I'm not trying to scare you. But the Boston market does suck. So don't even waste time in like Cambridge. Even downtown Somerville, I wouldn't waste time. Again, that was my experience from years ago and just other landlords that I know now. A lot of guys that I know in those areas flip because they can buy literally a junk multifamily, like a junk 3 family. They'll buy that for like $1 million or $1.2 million, and then they'll completely gut it, rebuild it, redo it. And then they'll sell it for $1 million a unit or $1 million plus a unit in that market. Yeah, that's a really super, super expensive market. Yeah. Yeah, one of the most expensive in the country, for sure. It's gross. And the margins, yeah, so the margins aren't, it's kind of like San Diego margins, like they're hard. They're hard. So, but good luck. Good luck. Billerica, thank you. I know I spelled that wrong. Yeah, yeah. I think it's Biller. Yeah, Billerica. Yep. Yeah, Lowell's tough, but Lowell is not the worst anymore. Lowell's got some okay areas, but Billerica is closer. I think you'll like Billerica more. That's just my thing. I think you'll like Billerica more. Steve Dave, just wanted to say thanks again. You're very welcome. Chester Williams, good morning and happy Sunday, Matt. Excellent. Couple of questions. Are there any surfacing contractors you have on speed dial? And what do you think about having Anna Kelly or Lily Thompson as a Three Amigos video? Yeah, so I saw that, saw you say that yesterday, Chester. Yeah, I'm totally cool having somebody else as adding them and doing a Four Amigos or Four Musketeers or I'm cool with any of that stuff. So you guys know I will be looking at my phone today, obviously with the snowstorm, temps being what they are. We have contractors that are working today, believe it or not. And so we always want to make ourselves available to them, help them out, make sure they're not waiting on me to make any decisions, and that they don't leave waiting for me to make a decision. And this cup isn't nearly as fancy as what Dion puts in his cup. It's just regular old water. But got to keep the pipes going for today because we're 15 minutes in. We got a lot more fun to have. So yeah, I'm surfacing. So surfacing contractors. I don't know what that is, but yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, feel free to ask. Hello, Mr. Lumberjack. Tell Mrs. Lumberjack hi, please. Yep. I certainly will invest to well. Thank you for asking. She's doing great. She'll be in the hospital this week with the baby. I'll be home with the kiddos. So I don't think we'll do one Thursday night. We might do a short one if she's home in time. Just because I know she really missed doing one. We literally didn't do one this Thursday because it was such a show. We had one burst pipe, 3 frozen, and 2 houses that couldn't get to temp. They were brand new to us. And so we kind of let them go their first winter and kind of figure out what their bugaboos are. But yeah, those buildings could not handle, without our treatment, couldn't handle a minus 20 wind chill. Silly buildings. So I think I got enough folks on. So my name is Matt. I'm the AKA the Lumberjack Landlord. Here to do live streams on Sunday with you guys, answer questions, give you guys some ideas, what stuff I'm doing in my market. And feel free to ask questions as much as you'd like. We are here and available to answer your questions, and excited to do it. So Chester Williams, speaking of mass 100% random, is Braintree close to Harvard or MIT? Yeah, so Braintree is not close to Harvard or MIT, but it's not too far. It's not horribly far. It is, so Braintree would take from Quincy, where I lived, would take, depending on where you were going to in Braintree, would take 15 or 20 minutes. And so based on those 15 or 20 minutes, but yeah, Harvard is literally, it's right there in Boston, right in Cambridge. And MIT is, I think MIT is there. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember MIT. But the Harvard guys, yeah. Yep, in Cambridge. Yep. But Drew A. Billerica, yep. Crimson Knight, Drew A. Agreed with Matt, and I don't wander into Lowell. Yeah, yeah. Spent 4 years there for college, hard pass. Leominster, Mass is also decent, has a commuter rail, but don't go into Fitchburg. Yeah, I think some of those areas have changed. Like I said, Lowell has some pretty decent student housing and student and areas. But just like anything, you'll find good and bad. You'll find good and bad in Billerica, but Billerica is, hopefully no one's from Billerica, but it's usually one of those areas that a lot of other people, like I know at work, a lot of people would make fun of the people in Billerica. I didn't mind living there. I lived there for a year and a half. I didn't mind it at all. I liked it. It was good Italian food. People were nice. It's a good, hardworking class town. I liked it. Yeah, didn't bother me at all. Matthew Paris, hey. Good morning, sir. Laura teaches. Happy Sunday. I just got a triplex in Nampa, Idaho. First one, congratulations. Very good. Congratulations. I'm wondering what are easy self-managed tools for collecting rent payments and bookkeeping. I think they just send checks now. I'll live on site. Oh, I love it. I love all of those things that you just said. A house hack, living on site. So I would recommend, me personally, I like Venmo, I like PayPal, so long as they're not paying with a card, and a credit card, that is, and it's coming off an account. If you're living on site, cash is fine too, because I'll give them a receipt for it. Checks are fine, but yeah, usually I like to get them going on like a PayPal or a Venmo, or ideally something called ACH, which is basically it goes into their account on a specified date every month and pulls out the money. That's ideal. Then it's automatic. Then it just shows up into your account. You don't even have to think about it. So my favorite is ACH. And we did that with the 2 housing authorities we work with. So we do that with a lot of different entities. Sorry guys, 1 second. So yeah, so that's what we do. So yeah, congratulations. That's super awesome. As far as bookkeeping, you can look at some of the property management stuff out there for bookkeeping, like Stessa, I've heard, for smaller, for like your first couple or for your first few. We use a product that doesn't really apply to a lot of guys, a lot of companies, because it's really meant for, kind of 200 units and up. And our thought was we'd eventually get there someday. And so we didn't want to move data again. So for us, we pay a little bit of a premium being in that product called Door Loop, because we've got like 100 and something unit, a little over 100 units in it, but that's a better fit for us with all the stuff that we try and do together. So for what it's worth, yeah, Door Loop for us, we seem that we like it. Matthew Paris, been down 2 weeks with COVID, finally feeling better. Oh, good. I'm glad. I didn't know you had COVID, but yeah, I realized I hadn't seen you. And I was like, it's always fair game that I've said something super offensive. It's pretty fair game. Yep. Yes, it is. Jester Williams, thinking more along the lines of like garage pavement with respect to surfacing. Okay. No, I don't have anybody like that. I got nobody like that, Chester. I got no one like that. Never done it. Never did it. Steve Dave, any experience with properties in a flood zone? Yep. Interested in increased cost of compliance grants. I don't know anything about the increased cost of compliance grants. Have had something in a flood zone. The insurance was the most crazy thing. Insurance was a normal house of that size would have been probably $800 or $900 a month. The flood zone insurance was $9,000 a year. Sorry, $800 or $900 a year versus $9,000 a year, so it was 10x. The other thing too about flood insurance, I believe, is that they cap you at $250,000 payout. So you want to check that, but I'm pretty sure the payout, I'm pretty sure they limit the payout on that because it's more like dwelling insurance. Yeah. Yep. MIT is walking distance from Harvard. Yes, yeah, I wouldn't know. I didn't go to college. I didn't even go to hang out in those towns. I'd be kind of like Goodwill Hunting in those towns. Wouldn't have gone very well for them or me. I would have been asking if they like them apples. Yeah, never spent any time there. Never spent any time there. I work with a company that only hires Ivy Leaguers. I find that interesting. I think it's very interesting. It definitely has some strengths, for sure. For sure, it has some strengths, but it has some hugely glaring weaknesses. Yeah, yep. I work with a company, like I said, all Ivy Leaguers, and they all announce it kind of a lot of very pretty often too. Harvard, Yale, Dartmouth. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Find it interesting. I didn't go. Ninth grade dropout. So, Kip Stevens, what do you think about St. Pete, Florida area on investment? Getting ready to move out there from Cali. Kip, no idea. Never did any work in St. Petersburg whatsoever. So I have no idea if it's a good market, bad market, great market. No clue. What research have you done? Let me know what research you've done in that market because I haven't done anything there. Drew A, if you can purchase a rent-ready duplex, 3-bedroom, 2-bath each side in a great area, wow, with less great area for less than 10K, but only make $200 a month on it after all expenses, would you consider it a win? What's that $200 that you're making? What's the return on that capital? Like what capital do you have in the deal that you're getting that return on? I guess would be my question. I'll look for your answer below. Because what I look at is I look at return. I look for the ROC, ROC, return on capital. And then I'll actually show you one of my deals. JC Blast, St. Pete, Clearwater, Tampa are all good growing areas for investing. Excellent. Angel R, Lumberjack, do you prefer Gaff, Timberline, or Owens Corning shingles? We don't actually use any of those. We actually use not IKOs. I think maybe IKOs. Gaff is fine. Timberline I haven't seen as much of. Gaff and Owens Cornings I've seen. But yeah, we usually use IKO 30 or ARC shingles is what we've used. And I think it's because we can't see, they're kind of built to a spec. And so we haven't seen a discernible difference in the product, and they're less expensive. So we don't search for the least expensive, but we search for, if we're paying more, what are we getting more for that we're paying? So we're really looking for value. Chester Williams, ACH, automated clearinghouse. Yeah, basically it's direct deposit. Yeah, exactly. It's essentially you set up for ACH, or you set up, they basically send you their ABA routing number and their account number. You set it up in the system, and there's a bunch of different products out there that you can do this with. But you can set it up and then it can pull it in. Hemlane's one that does a pretty good job. I think they actually include ACH for free, or maybe it's $1 per transaction. But the convenience of knowing it's there every single month and it's pulled every single month, I kind of like that. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, I kind of dig that. JC Blast, doesn't PayPal charge a fee? Nope, not if you do a friends and family. Yep, not if you do a friends and family. Or if only if it comes off of their account. Like if it comes out of their PayPal account, or if it comes directly out of their bank account, there's no fee. If they do it with a card or an ATM card, there is a fee. And so if there's that fee, then they pay that fee. I'm not paying that fee. So they can be on time with their rent. Just Williams, Theta Hedge Cat. Yep. Kip Stevens in the area. Yep. JC Blast. I'm South Florida, but invest in that area and south of there. Very cool. Theta Hedge Capital. That's how you know you're awesome. That's how you know you're awesome if your company only hires Ivy. Yeah, I won't say who that company is. I find them very much less than awesome. In fact, it might be time for story time. So this company, I can't tell that story. I can't tell that story. Nope. Can't tell that story. I would love to. After I retire, I'll tell it. Dion talk financial freedom. Hey, Dion, how many rentals did you have when the cash flow surpassed your living expenses? I would say it was living expenses. How many rentals? I would say it was probably we could have lived on the first 10 or 12 units. We could have lived on that. But yeah, we wanted to grow. That was really early in the process. Yeah, we could have lived on the first, on the first, first few rentals. Yeah, for sure. We just pumped up I wanted to make in a month what we were making in a year. That was kind of the only thing that I had to kind of my eye on at all was, hey, we can make it on this. I'd like to make more. And that's kind of how we built that out. So that's a great question. Yeah. So I don't have a hard number for you, but I think it was, it's right around there. It was right around there. Because then the other big thing too was we transitioned out of 2 of those buildings and got into another couple of buildings. And the profit was much better on the other buildings. Mm-hmm. Yeah. True A, 30% return on capital all in. Yeah, a 30%. So $200. So $200 a month is a 30% return on your capital. Okay, I'm going to see your numbers lower. Hold on one second. Talk to Master Plumber about the mini split versus boiler. Said mini splits are crap in old houses. Yep, this is a guy I trust a lot, so I'm going to go with his advice. Told him IBC. I told him about IBC. He recommended PEX piping for the exposed pipes in the basement on the ceiling, copper, yep, in the wall, because rats chew PEX, yeah, and radiant panel for heating. What are your thoughts on that setup? Yeah, that setup works. We've done that setup with like a bigger radiant hanging in like the downstairs area, because you can buy a pretty big one. Yeah, you can buy a pretty big one. I still prefer baseboard because the copper, I don't like pipes and walls. I don't like pipes and walls. If you ever have a leak or you have a problem, you're opening up walls. And in older homes, that's harder. So I much rather do baseboard where they're putting the copper pipe up through the floor and connecting it right to the baseboard radiators. That's my preference. So Drew, $200 is after deducting 12% for future maintenance. Okay, 10% management. Okay, 5% for vacancies and taxes and mortgage. Holy crap, that's a lot of deductions. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that in my mind, the only thing you really have to keep an eye on is you can get wiped out of your $200 a month pretty quick. You can get wiped out of your $200 pretty quick if you have like a water heater go. That's going to be $1,800 installed to replace, and so there goes 6 or 8 months. So the only thing that I would probably look at is how old some of those types of things are. Systems, water heaters, refrigerators, stoves. I would look at how old those things are in the house because of how old those things are in the house. If you got a bunch of old things, then that $200 is going to get wiped out pretty consistently. That's just how I would look at it. John Doe, Dr. Shiva is one Ivy Leaguer I'd love to bump into up there. I could pick his brain for hours. Dr. Shiva. I don't know who that is. Tell me who that is. Tell me who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't travel in those circles. Crimson Knight. Also, do you use USB outlets and rentals like you? Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, my template's exactly the same for a flip or a buy and hold. My template's exactly the same. So I use the are now $30, cheapest on eBay. Can't find them on Alibaba. Regular USB, $12 on Alibaba, 15 on eBay. Yep, I use those. It's just worth it to me. It's another feature. It's another feature that I add that people like. I would get the fast charging ones too, not the cheap ones. Crimson Knight, got to go clear the roof. Hopefully I'll jump back on later. Sounds good. Have a fun time, man. Invest to wealth. With self-managed, can you talk about people that are in your team? Yeah, handymen, contractors, plumbers, etc. Of course, absolutely. Let me just finish Crimson Knight before he splits. For clarity, before I leave, am only thinking doing this in my B+ A- property in Manchester, not my C in Nashua. Yeah, I think those IBCs are golden. I think that PEX is good. I wouldn't do anything in walls, even if it's copper piping, because like I said, you can get a pinhole there, and rats can chew through PEX. They can also chew through copper. Rats can factually chew through copper. They can. Rats' teeth continue to grow. And so they have to gnaw on things to file them down. They will chew on anything, and they can chew through anything. They really can. So they can chew through copper. Copper is a soft metal. They can absolutely chew through it. They can make a bunch of noise, and then they get kind of fixated on it, and then they'll keep on chewing and keep on chewing, and then you're opening up a wall. So me, I don't like pipes and walls. And if I'm going to the second floor, I even would prefer, in many cases, we try and create a chase where we don't feed it up through the wall. Sometimes we do, but in most cases, we'll create like a little chase and then box in the chase. And that means it's very easy to get to that line, because I can just pop that chase off, and I can, if I see in the line that thing's become an issue. That's what I do. Back to your question, invest to wealth. So my team. So I have a primary and a secondary plumber, a primary and a secondary electrician. I have a primary, kind of my go-to guy, that we basically kind of chart out work. And then if he has some other job come up that he wants to go do, he's like, hey, for these few days, I'm not going to be available. Okay, no problem. Most of the time, stuff can wait. Largely anything that would be an emergency would be a roofer, who I have a primary and a secondary of those guys. I kind of keep two of everybody. I have two of everybody. Now, there's people on those teams that get a majority of my business, but no one gets all of my business. So yeah, that's basically my team. And then I have kind of a gopher. He's $20 an hour, but he'll go and he'll, load boxes of flooring, pick up a bunch of trim, pick up door orders, pick up window orders. So he can go do all that stuff and then get it on site. That way I'm not paying craftsmen. And I like to kind of spoil my craftsmen where they just show up, all the materials there, and then they just work. That's one of the things my guys like about working with me, is that I pay them as soon as they're done. That's their favorite thing. The next thing is I don't really beat them up on price. I know when I'm being told it's too expensive, and I'll tell them, guys, like, come on, really? But they're fair. And that's why a lot of stuff, I don't like put their stuff out to bid every single time to try and save a few $100. And the third thing is they show up and the material's just there. They measure it. So they tell me exactly, or in some cases, like windows, I have them measure. Roof, I have them measure, just because I don't want to climb up. So a lot of that stuff I'll have them do. But yeah, yep. So that's kind of the crew that I have, if you will. Price and Pride, morning. How's the blizzard? You should check Price and Pride. You should check me out on Instagram at Lumberjack Landlord. If you guys aren't following me on Lumberjack Landlord on Instagram, you guys are missing out. I'm posting a ton of, I post something there every single day. It's even worth getting an Instagram account, even if all you're going to see is my posts. Every single day we show something landlord related. Every single day. And we tell you what happened, what the situation was, what it's going to be, what it is. We do all that stuff every single day for you guys. Yeah. Yep. Yes, indeed. So, but yeah, the blizzard was on there. And it was fine. Nothing crazy. Jay Markey. Morning, Matt. What is your favorite type of bathroom flooring to use if you are starting from scratch? LVP, vinyl plank, textured vinyl plank, not the pure. If you get the really cheap stuff that's slick and has no texture, it's slippery. So I like to get something that has a little bit of texture. Marty, the flooring guy's stuff. This is the commercial stuff. If you put your hand across it, it has texture. It's got a good texture to it. So I like LVP. It's vinyl plank, nice heavy duty stuff, pad on the bottom. Yeah, I like this stuff. Click lock. It click locks together. That's what I prefer to use if I'm starting from scratch. Excuse me. In addition to Angel R, in addition to USB, I'm using motion sensor switch for bathrooms and light switch. I like that. I like that a lot. Yep, I like that a lot. Yeah, that's higher end, Angel. That's a good move, man. That's a good move. I like that. Yep. Yeah, we started doing that in some places. What we actually were doing before COVID was we were going to put ourselves in a position to do that kind of standard. And we had an order with Alibaba. We were going to place that order, and for some reason we didn't do it. I forget what it was. Yeah, for some reason we didn't do it, but that's absolutely something on our list to do to upgrade all of our units to motion in those different areas. Certainly bathroom. Yep, for sure. Yep, love it. Love it, love it. Great idea. Hold on one second. I don't know. We have a renter who's making their first payment and we just opened up the portal in Door Loop. I kind of want to test the portal in real life and see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't suck. Steve Dave, flood insurance is around $4,500 a year. Okay. The increased cost of compliance grant would allow me $30K up to $60K if I raise or move the house out of the base flood elevation via FEMA. Oh yeah. Okay. I see that. That's cool. Yeah, I see that. Yeah. I mean, I kind of like that idea anyway, because I think that, coastal areas are going to be more difficult. So yeah, I like that idea. Yeah. I mean, if you can get that done for that and there's decent ROI, I think it's a math problem. I don't think it's really much of anything else. I think it's a math problem. So I like that. I think that's cool. REI stoners, but I don't know anything about it. It just feels cool, sounds cool. I don't know if it's actually cool. I'm going to help you for what that's worth. REI stoners made it, trying to yard sale and watch at the same time. Don't miss those deals. Yard sailing is awesome. I still yard sale. Totally do. Swear. In fact, my best find last year, or maybe it wasn't last year, it was before COVID, was I got two pair of waders. For those of you who don't know what those are basically like plastic or rubber molded boots into a rubber molded suit that comes up to like here. Well, when you're in a basement, there is nothing better than those, because I've stood in a basement that had more than 2 feet of water, came over my boot, right into my foot, soaked. And when that happens, you're freezing cold the entire day and you usually will get sick because it takes so much to get your core temp up. But yeah, $5 a piece. I was like, these are like $150. Yeah. Yeah. So love yard sailing, all for it. Do it to it. J Markey, Matt, do you recommend repairing chipped porcelain tub or just covered up with an overlay? Any specific companies you recommend in either scenario? Yeah, so Miracle Method is somebody that I've used. In fact, if you look at my J Markey, are you following me on Instagram? At Lumberjack Landlord on Instagram, take it out. There's a whole post that I did specifically about that. I show you before and after. I guarantee your tub wasn't uglier than mine was before. That is the ugliest tub surround and tub I have ever seen in my entire life. And I've seen surrounds that were really ugly, but that one was the worst. But at Lumberjack Landlord on Instagram, worth the download, and check out the pictures that I posted there before and afters. Awesome. Angel R, Matt, when starting out, how did you manage? My dilemma right now is that I am not able to save as much as before while my cash flow grew some of my house. My houses are older homes and need big upgrades such as windows, new furnaces, etc. Yeah. I went through exactly the same thing. So you gotta get your house. So just like you get your finances right, you gotta get your properties right. You don't, I mean, windows, those don't have to be done, but furnaces, if you have an older furnace, that's not something you want to play with. That's something that you want to be replacing on your time frame, not someone else's. I just had a steam boiler go, one pipe steam boiler, 3 or 4 months out for me to get a boiler. What am I supposed to tell my tenant? Literally what I'm having to do is I'm moving them into a unit that just went vacant. I'm moving them in there and basically letting them stay there, pay their rent there. And I have to basically keep this thing going, keep this building going, this unit. I have to keep this stupid unit going for until whenever I can get a heating system. Now, I've got some heating system options. I decided that I'm going to go to my standard, my IBC, because if I got to wait 3 or 4 months for a solution I don't like as much, now this one's going to cost me about 60% more. That's how much these IBCs cost to put in versus one that's already piped for one pipe steam. Still, it's a better option for me. So that's what I'm actually going to do. I'm actually going to put in an IBC and take out the one pipe steam, take out all the radiators. And I'm honestly bummed about it, but whatever, it is what it is. So you want to be changing furnaces on your time and on your timeline, not on somebody else's. If somebody's looking at your furnace and like, yeah, we can limp it along for another year or two, dude, make sure you're budgeting for that right now and get ready to do it sometime in the summertime. when you can get furnaces, when there isn't the crazy lead time that there is right now, etc. So yeah, absolutely something worth doing. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Yep. Yes, yes. REIS owners, when we buy our first property duplex, will the bank look at what the property can make from rentals as well as W-2? No. So if you go to a non-QM lender, it will be purely what the building does. If you go to a regular lender, it will be W-2 plus what one side of it, if you're moving into it, what one side of it pays. Let's say it's $2,000. You'll get credit for 75% of that rent. That's what will happen there. Jay Markey, happy to be hanging out with everyone on the live stream again today, by the way. Very cool. I love hanging out with you guys on Sundays. It's a lot of fun. Love answering your questions. Mark. Hey, Mark. Good morning. Happy Sunday. What material do you use for trim and baseboards, MDF or wood? Me specifically, I like this. So if you look at my rehab videos, you'll find that I use 7 1/4 inch, what's called speed base. That is, it's a mixture. It's a mixture. It's not pure particle. It's not pure junk. It's not pure sawdust. It's actual wood, but check it out. It's $1.19 a foot at a lumber yard, 7 1/4. You can look at it, see it in the videos. I'm pretty sure. Why am I blanking on that? I'm pretty sure it's all wood, actually. I think it's all wood. Yeah, that's all wood. That's real wood. Isn't it? Yeah, that's definitely real. Yeah, that's real wood. Yep. Yeah, that's real wood. It's $1.19 a foot. Yeah. 7 1/4 special order. But when I buy it, I buy 40 sticks of it. Because there's 16-foot sticks and usually 40 sticks is enough to do any house. So that's what I usually keep in stock of that stuff. And I just stay one order ahead. I would not use, so yeah, MDF is okay. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use like 1 by pine. I wouldn't use like a 4-inch 1 by pine. I mean, a 12-foot stick of that will now cost you, $30. It's $250 a foot. It's crazy expensive. Yeah, I wouldn't use that. Kendall, what are your thoughts on LA County extending their moratorium until June 23rd, 2023? That's nuts. Yeah, I saw that. Supervisors excitedly authorized non-payment rent despite current policy requiring 25% with hardship. Interesting. I'm Matthew Paris, I don't know. That one I see. It's probably just because she said WTF though. I don't know. I think that's how much I thought about their extension moratorium. That's why I don't list in states that aren't pro landlord. I hope that doesn't happen to Zoom. Like, that'd be awful. People would literally just decide to stop paying their rents. I had 2 people that, in the middle of COVID needed some assistance. I had some other people that struggled after COVID. But yeah, that's horrible. I think that's so horrible. You know what? Maybe a bunch of landlords will leave the city. That's fine. That would be horrible. And again, this isn't a political thing. It's not. It's just a business thing. It's purely business. It's purely business. I want to align myself with states that are pro-business. That's it. I don't care if it's green or red or blue. I don't care. I care about one thing and one thing only, which is that they are aligned with taking care of the people who take care of their citizenry. It's crazy. Crazy. Kip Stevens, would you still put LVP in a raw floor bathroom like concrete? Yeah, there's a special underlayment that I would use, but yeah, I wouldn't see why not. I mean, you could also do pretty easy like radiant underneath it too. like some of those just pads that can sit on top of the concrete, or I think you maybe put pad, then the radiant, then the click lock, or maybe another pad and then the click lock. Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, manufacturer, whatever the manufacturer suggests or allows that doesn't void your warranty is usually how I would do it. Trying to think if I've done it before. I've definitely done it before. We've definitely put that type of flooring on top of concrete for sure. Yeah. REI Stoners, I think I missed your response, but I just made $20. I don't know, response to which. Oh, the W-2 thing, maybe. So W-2, so non-QM only counts the money that the building makes. The normal bank cares about your W-2, and they'll, on one side of the duplex for one of the units, they'll give you 75% of the rent on that unit. That's what they'll do. Abdul Mateen, content so good, I wish I could subscribe twice. That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Honestly, guys, we should have a lot more people watching this. There's only 40 people watching this. That blows my mind. It blows my mind because I would literally pay money to sit, and I'm not going to start charging, even if you agree with me, but I would literally pay money to have had somebody with the amount of experience that we have over the last 20 years and 100 units, would pay money to talk, to listen to somebody like that and ask questions. See, I'm getting all klutzy. Let me go get my pen. Yeah, I just think that this stuff is invaluable. That's why I make the time to do it every week. I hate this hat. This hat's driving me bonkers. Yeah. But thank you, Abdul Mateen. Pallavi Patel, good morning. Hey, good morning. Matthew Paris, WTF, my comments keep disappearing. I don't know what's happening, man. I'm not deleting them. Swear to you. REI Stoners, hit that like button. Thanks for the great info, Lumberjack. Appreciate that, REI. Appreciate that. Yep. Hey, if I earn that thumbs up, cool. Hit me. If I don't, I like what Dion says, which is, hit the like button, hit the dislike button twice if you hate it. That way I don't do it again. Honestly, I'm here for you guys. I'm here to answer your questions. So it's all good. It's all good. Keezer Mooney. That's the first time I've seen a question from you. Super excited to have you here. For single family rentals, would you furnish washer, dryer, refrigerator, or none? Refrigerator, yes. Yes, you have to do a refrigerator. You have to do a refrigerator. Yeah. Yep. Washer, dryer, I think that's a preference. So I know Mike Zuber doesn't. I do. I have them in 70 of my units. I don't have them in 30 something of my units. So I do, but I charge higher rents, and in a lot of cases, they're paying heat and hot water. So I just pay water and sewer, and they're paying electricity. So I'm not seeing the brunt of that cost, but washer and dryer very often will keep tenants longer. I think Dion agrees with me on this one. So yeah, very often washer and dryer. And what we'll typically do is, there's a way that you can structure it in your lease where basically you're saying, we will leave these there for your use. That being said, any and all repairs that occur during this time are your responsibility. So that way, if they're being dumb with it and careless with it, then it's on them. Yep. And they have to pay to fix it. So hopefully that helps. Chris Webb checking in from Virginia. Hey, Chris. Just finished up watching my brother who leads a church in Western Mass. Thanks for the live stream. Very cool. What church? What church in Western Mass? And when you say Western, are you talking like Worcester, or are you talking like what's that town? Westfield, one of the last towns before you go into New York. Just William, likes up, people. This is gold. Hey, thanks, Chester. Appreciate that. Thanks, Chester. Stephen Dave, ever float LVP over an old nice heart? Yep. In a rental? Yep. Considering doing that instead of refinishing the original flooring, saving it for possible resale in the future. Yes, I absolutely have. Yep. Yep. I literally just had a flooring guy tell me he didn't want to refinish the floor. He wanted to just put LVP on top of it. And I was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're sanding that floor. He's like, it's going to be easier if I just do LVP. I said, easier and much more expensive. Stop talking and start sanding. Guy. This is a new crew to me in the last 6 or 9 months. I'm not sure I like them very much. They've done decent work, but they have more excuses than Smiths in the phone book. And they've never finished a job on time, not even once. Not even once. It really starting to piss me off. And the complaints constant. Yeah. Just like, dude, if you hate flooring that much, stop doing it. Pretty sure you have no other marketable skills though. I've seen your other work. So yeah, it's kind of getting brutal. So yeah, Steve, Dave. Yeah, I've absolutely done that. Yep. I've absolutely done that. Yep. Jay Markey, Matt, I have a house under contract with a tongue and groove hardwood and no subfloor. Okay. Yep. Does this present any special challenges for LVP flooring installation? Sorry, not my area of expertise yet. No, yeah, no worries. So you have a tongue and groove hardwood on, so you have joists, tongue and groove hardwood on top, but it's not sitting on any subfloor. That's like 90% of the houses that I do. So are you going over the tongue and groove or are you ripping up the tongue and groove? Answer me that question. Chris Webb, have you or any of your students fallen into investing? For example, bought a home, had to relocate it or just moved? Oh yeah, sure. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. If so, how do you call yield? The only way that you can do it is the same way that you would do it as if you were renting. That's the yeah. East of Westfield, right in between for church. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So Chris, I would still call yield the same way, which is understanding what the market's going to be. I would even talk to a couple rental brokers in the market and ask them what they think you're going to get. Based on what they think you're going to get, that's what I would look at. What's your all-in costs and expenses, and still figure out yield in exactly the same way. Yep. Still figure out exactly the same way. That's what I would do. Yeah. All right, guys, I need to go. I am dying of thirst. It's all my heat running. So I'll be back in literally just a couple minutes. I got to get a drink so we can continue this awesomeness that is a live stream. And then I'm going to come back and answer the Ramirez real estate team's question. I will be right back. Much better. All right. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I appreciate that. Sorry. That was a must. I was dying. Must have been all that shoveling. I'm just joking. I only shoveled the end of my garage. All right. So Ramirez team, here we go. Deanne, can you sing, man? I don't know if Deanne can sing. I want to play Two Truths and a Lie. That's what I told Mike. He was chicken, didn't want to do it. I want to do Two Truths and a Lie with Dion on the Three Amigos. So me, Dion, and Mike, and we all do 2 truths and a lie. That's what I prefer. So Ramirez Real Estate Team, Matt, aka the Lumberjack Landlord. That is me. Your channel and all the support to the real estate industry is priceless. Thank you. I appreciate that. Is extremely valuable. Infinite thanks for all your help. Oh, dude, guys, I'm so happy to do this for you guys. I wish I had this. So I'm happy to help all you guys. In fact, I have a deal in the works for you guys. So much like we did something with the flooring. Excuse me, where I talked to Marty and got you guys a contact, got you guys, preferred pricing, as well as the ability to get samples, quick turnaround, bundling and free shipping. I have another vendor that I think is going to knock people's socks off. And I searched forever for this vendor for me. And then I was like, I found this vendor and they're pretty good. Now I got to let the people know. So yeah, I'm super excited to share that with you guys. I was talking with their president on 10 p.m. on Saturday night. We were going back and forth. Very cool guy. And so I'm super excited to talk to you guys about what that opportunity might be for you guys. Because I need to buy a bunch of these things and want to get you guys in the loop. And again, no commitments or anything like that. I just want to try and pass on a good vendor to you guys that I've used some of their stuff. It's been really good. Now I need to expand my use of it. And I'll tell you what it is probably sometime this week after I hear what the deal is. Chris Webb, Worcester, no. West of Worcester and east of Westfield. Okay, right in between. Yeah, Palmer. Okay. Called New Birth Church. Yep. Did you live stream due to weather? How much snow did you get? I didn't. So I'm live streaming out of my same studio today. So nothing special, nothing more special about today. And I always do it 11:30 a.m. on Sundays. Because it's a time when I know if my wife is going to get me napping out of the kids, it's going to be then. So it's less for her to do. And Sunday afternoons are kind of chill. So yeah. Abdul Mateen Sadeth. It's so hard finding good contractors. It is. I'm working on getting my license to do my own work. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't do my own work on my own units without a license. What state is that? That's super dumb. Not you, the rule. Yeah, F that. New Hampshire, I don't need a license. Need a license. Give me a break. James Welsh. Hey, Matt. Thanks for all you do. Oh, you're very welcome. Asked Mike this question yesterday. Who do you pay the most to, your business, plumbers, electricians, or roofers? I have a cracked sewer line, 13K quote. So my answer is exactly the same as yours. Plumber. Yep. My plumbers get the most of my money. Yep. Not roofers, plumbers. Yep. If you do any, because I replace heat systems a lot, because in the Northeast, they're so important. So I replace them a decent amount. Yeah. We've done, I don't know, 27 heat systems in the last few years. So we do a lot of them. So yeah. So and each time we do those, they're as little as 9,000. They're as much as 17,000. So yeah. So we spent well into the 6 figures on heating systems. Yep. Cracked sewer line. Man, I've been there. I did one this last year. How many linear feet is it? Is it in the road? Give me some detail on it and I can try and help you out. Yeah, I'll try and help you out with some info. Over tongue and groove, Jay Markey, good. Yep. Yeah, over tongue and groove is fine. The only thing that I typically want to do is I will still put some sort of a decent pad down. So even with the tongue and groove, what you'll find is if it's an older house, I like to roxel the basement ceiling. Okay. Sorry, the basement ceiling. So you can see my hand. I like to roxel the basement ceiling. Then you got the tongue and groove. Then you can put some pad on it so the floor can float a little bit, but it also has a little bit of cushion to it, and it also can kind of keep the flooring underneath it in better condition if you have any wear spots that the new floating floor might create. So typical for me in New England, because I want to keep warmth in that unit, and that those floors have zero insular quality, I'm usually going Roxol, then the tongue and groove that's existing, then a pad, then the LVP on top of that. That's usually what I'm doing. Yeah. So real quickly, Abdul, because I just saw your comment, I think that's wrong. I think if you look at the rule, I think they're misquoting you the rule. You don't have to live in the house, you have to own the house. Just look at that, just in case, look at that rule. Or look it up and have them look it up yourself, or have them show it to you. I think they're misquoting the rule, because I don't know that to be the rule. And I get it. Cash flow is paying for it. Anything above 250 needs a permit. If the owner isn't doing the work, or if it is like electrical or plumbing. But if it's anything else, painting, trim, flooring, you're allowed to do all that stuff, and you don't have to live. I mean, in my state, you're allowed to do all that stuff and you don't have to live in it. So I think me personally, Abdul, I think they're misquoting the rule. I would look at that. If I were in your shoes, I would look at that. REI Stoners, what's something clause you had to add to your lease, okay, that a tenant screwed up, such as stickers all over the windows or something outside the box? Trash is the biggest thing. Trash. Yep. Trash. Yep. We had somebody that our town doesn't have free trash pickup. So you either have to pay for bags or pay for a service that's not the town. They stiffed 2 or 3 different companies. Then they wouldn't buy the bags. They created, I'd never had rats before. They created rats. Rats started coming because they were just throwing their trash out. I should have had a much clearer lease specifically about trash, because that was a painful process getting them out. So trash. Yep. Trash. 100%. Yep. If your town sells bags like our town does, or if your town or a service, but I would put something in there specific to the trash, the bags, and the service. And if it's not, that is terms for eviction and will be seen just as will be seen as a violation of their lease. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Yep. Yeah. Dion with the ballad. That's awesome. John Williams, Dion the Bard. Kaiser Mooney, thanks for answering the earlier question. First time watching your show. Hey, cool. It's been very educational. Oh, I'm glad. Thanks for saying. I have one more question. Yeah, feel free. As many questions as you want, Kaiser. That we see tons of people that ask multiple questions. In fact, Crimson Knight, he's the most often asked question. He asks probably 10 a show, and I'm totally cool with that. I'm here to answer questions and give other people knowledge. So I'm super excited you'd think enough of my opinion to ask. Is it worth doing cost segregation for 260K condo rental? Kaiser, that's an awesome question. I'm just getting into cost segregation myself, so I don't know. I will only tell you things that I know. So I can tell you this year, we are absolutely 100% doing cost segregation. I do not know the cutoffs. I haven't done it before. And so this is my first year doing it. So I won't know the answer to that question until probably April 10th. when they have finished everything, and then I see what their difference in return is, because right now I don't know. So awesome question. Definitely keep on watching. I will definitely post to @lumberjack landlord on Instagram when that happens. But yeah, I'm not sure yet. Legacy opportunity, legacy op. Good morning, lumberjack. Good morning. Hey, it's just no. Hey, Justin. Am I ready for some football? I kind of am. Yeah, I kind of am. I'm very interested to see if Tom Brady actually retired. I know a lot of people around the country hate him, but from a fan who grew up watching the worst franchise in all of football to then get the last 20 years that we got, man, it was a huge difference. That I can tell you. Dion Talk Financial. So Chester Williams @Dion Talk Financial Freedom. Now you have a request to sing howdy. Welcome back to Dion Talk, opening in your next video. Yeah, I dare you to sing, Dion. I can't wait. I bet she's got a good voice. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear that. That's awesome. I can sing. I can rip. Yeah, I'm good actually. Yep. So good I was paid. How's that? Pretty funny, huh? Yeah, Abdul Mateen to death. Yes. Yeah. Check into that. Definitely. I want to know for sure. Definitely would like to know. Yeah. Hip Hop Silver in New England. Do you have termite letters or termite bonds to purchase or sale? We don't. Nope. We might. I've never heard of it. So possible, but we've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. John Doe. Hey, Matt, any tricks to cleaning inside an oven that's been neglected? Yes. Oh, man, guys, I'm dropping knowledge today. They make a special stone. No joke. It's a stone. That special stone is the coolest thing I've ever freaking seen. And it rubs away. It doesn't scratch, but it's abrasive enough that you wet it, you soak it, and then it rubs away. But that stone is awesome. I have gotten stoves that I thought I was literally going to have to replace. I used that stone and it's awesome. So look for like a stove cleaning stone. I don't remember what they call it, but yes, we've used that. It works. It works. It saved me a number of stones. I mean, stoves. The stones saved me a number of stoves. Yes. Yep. So yeah, it's great product. James Welsh, cracked sewer line on my property to the street is 20 feet. Okay. Had the line jetted and cleared the blockage. Yep. But my plumber said the blockage will come back eventually, getting more quotes. Okay. So are you getting tree skirting? Is that what it is? What's the pipe that's in the ground? Is it clay? Is it permacoat? And $13,000 for 20 feet is ridiculous. Way cheaper than that. Way cheaper than that. Yeah, $13, 13 grand is ridiculous. Nope. So to give you an idea, James, there is easy off heavy duty that I've used. Yeah, that easy off heavy duty is decent, but that stone thing is a miracle worker. Chris Webb, back to moving and creating a rental. If it is yeah, nice. If it is outside of state and the yield is better than where I live, should I build my team in previous location? I don't get out there often. Yeah. So I was asked a question from a viewer earlier, late last night, actually. And they'd never been to the area. They had been doing the math on the returns, and the returns are good. But they've never flown to the area, never visited the area. They were going to build a team or try and buy a property and then build a team. This is, guys, that's such a backwards way of doing it. You don't do it that way. You build your team first. You build your team first before because you might not be able to build a good team. What if you can't build a good team? Then you've got property in a place where you can't build a good team. And then what? It's just, yeah, you're just setting yourself up to get ripped off. And your margin isn't going to be enough if you're getting, yeah, you gotta, the order by which things should always be done in my mind is your market, your local market, every single asset class, you have to check the box that it doesn't fit. Every single asset class. And when I say your market, I mean anything within, half hour to 45 minutes of your house, and then if none of those asset classes work, none of that stuff works in your area about 45 minutes away. If none of that stuff works, okay, then start looking at other stuff, right? But if you're talking about real remote investing, like a plane ride away is what I would call it. If you're looking at plane ride away stuff, you got to have visited that number of times, met a number of brokers, met a number of property managers, have all of that stuff in place, talk to some of the other customers that those property owners have. Yeah, I'd be doing all that stuff before I even consider buying in that market. That's just my feeling. Okay. That's just my feeling. I am what Mike does to Fresno. That makes sense for Mike because he has an awesome property manager that grew with him, that he also knows how to interview those guys, been working with those guys for 10 years. That's why that works. That's why that works. He wouldn't be driving all the time to and from Fresno. Yeah. Yeah. You got to know the market, guys. And if you're talking about remote investing, you've got to have met all of those other teams, contractors, handymen. You got to go through all of that stuff, guys. And that's where finding a great property manager is really important. But then, how good are they? Talk to some of their customers, what their experience was. How were they in managing a project? They might be really good once you have a property up and running, but they might suck at getting it up and running. Guys, this is really, really important. You could lose your ass. You could be one and done. What happens if you do that and 6 months from now, the market corrects? Not crisis crash, but corrects 10%, 15%, whatever. Your 10 or 15 down market plus the 8% that it's going to cost you to sell it. $200,000 house, you're going to have to write a check for 30, 40 grand. Guys, please. This is very serious stuff. I know we joke around, we have a lot of fun, we make light of some situations. This is not easy. This is not to be underestimated what you are taking on. You can do it, but it is a lot more work managing those properties. One rental at a time does an amazing job of teaching you how to buy the right rental. Totally agree with that. Management after that, self-management for me, that's critical to me. That's what helps my cost model. That's why my cost model is nuts. Literally, my cost model is nuts. My margin is crazy in a lot of these deals. In fact, I got to show you guys the deal because that's what I said I would do. Last week, I said I would share the deal. I said we would do a deep dive deal, and I actually did all the numbers, finished them this morning just so I could do this for you guys. So, man, you guys just pounded me with a bunch of questions. I was feeling so good about myself, and then I had to go stand on a soapbox. I'm just trying to protect you guys. Please don't do a deal in a farm market unless you've done so much work where you know it cold like it were your own. You gotta, please. Kip Stevens, let's see. Kip Stevens, do I do anything with mobile homes? No, I'd buy a mobile home park, but I would not buy mobile homes. A lot of mobile home parks don't allow you to rent out the units. So no, at least here anyway. REI stoners, when a tenant moves out, usually there are small nail and tack holes. Does this repair come out of deposit? It can. It can. I mean, usually you can walk through the entire apartment and fill those little pin tack holes, And then the key that I've had is you can literally, if you have a paint can of the paint color, I don't repaint the entire wall if it's just like a couple, but you can just hit them and then you can't even tell that they were there because the hole's gone. But then you can just literally, with like a Q-tip, you can apply it. So I'll usually just turn that into time as opposed to like bringing a painter in or anything like that. Like that's kind of a handyman thing to handle. So ideally I don't, but yeah, if it's a handyman, he spends an hour or two on it. Yeah, I'll charge him 25 or 50 bucks or whatever the rate is for that handyman. Or they can do it themselves. If I walk in and all that stuff is done, okay. And then they just have to add a little bit, do the touch up paint and stuff like that. Then yeah, whatever. We'll usually end up being in that unit for an hour or two, and and then cleaning. Cleaning is the other thing. It has to be left. We have a lot of stuff professionally cleaned for the next person to move in. So that professional cleaning crew, like we've seen people that were like, we saw they never owned a vacuum. How many times did that place get vacuumed? Never, unless they were renting a vacuum, and most people don't rent vacuums. So yeah. Theta Hedge Capital, do you prefer jetting or an auger to clear sewer blockages? Also, have you ever used cast in place to repair broken sewer lines? There's a lot of questions there. So I prefer the auger. It's much less expensive. I have one now. It's called an electric eel. So the auger I prefer for the toilet. The auger I prefer for the line. If we can't get the line free with the auger, then I'll pay to have it jetted. But here, augers are $500 to auger the line. A jet's $1,000. So yeah, I'm going to start off with the auger because I've seen 95% of the time the auger does the trick. It's 5% that it doesn't. And then and the other thing too is the auger, I can know what it was jetting. I can know why it was clogged. So if I can know why it was clogged, I can know if that's my problem or my tenant's problem. I always go into it assuming it's my problem. So I spend my money accordingly. And that way I can also justify to the tenant if for some reason it's their problem. Yep. Yeah, that's what I would do. And then ever used cast in place to repair broken sewer lines? No, we've always just replaced the entire sewer line. And I just did one that was 100 feet. 100 feet. Yep. From the house to the sewer chimney, it was on 100 feet. And that included being under the yard, sidewalk, and the road. It sucked. But I can tell you it was less expensive than the quote. It was less expensive than the 13K quote I saw. 13K. It's 13K, right? It was 13K, right? Am I missing it? Yeah, 13K, James. Yep. Yeah, it was less expensive than the 13K. Yep. John Doe, awesome. Thanks, Matt. Getting me an oven stove. Yeah. Like I said, follow the instructions and it will take you some time. Like I've literally had somebody spend an hour with an oven stove or an hour and a half with an oven stove. But obviously you can charge that back to the tenant, number one. And number two is I think it's a jerk move to replace a stove and charge the tenant for it. I don't, I've done that twice and it was because they smashed it with hammers when they were evicted. And this was in 2 of my 9 evictions. One smashed it with a hammer and ripped the door off. The other one upended it and basically snapped the top off. And I was like, yeah, okay, fine. You can pay for it. Sounds good. Yeah. So Chris Webb, I use my current location to refine my yield calculation, but I already have a home in the other location. Okay. Love my property manager and agent. They understand my buy box and get my investment strategy. Yeah, that's the key right there. Yeah, if you love your property manager and the agent and they understand your buy box and get the investment strategy, yeah, your network is your net worth, you know. Your network is your network. I kissed a lot of frogs before I found my princes and princesses. That's for sure. That's for sure. Jay Markey, since you had an earlier question about sanitary sewer lateral, yep. Have you ever had to install a check valve to prevent sewer backups into a basement? Unfortunately, this is an issue where I live. We haven't had to do that. Nope, we haven't had to do that. Thankfully. Yeah, I haven't had to do that yet. Man, that's horrible. Yeah, but no, thankfully haven't had to do that. Anna K, I thank you for teaching us about the reverse offer and clean offer last Sunday. I made an offer on a single family home and got it under contract the day before yesterday. All right. Yeah, good job. Good job, Anna. Fantastic. Did that reverse offer work? Did that strategy help? Or was it just your awesomeness that got you the deal? I'd love to know. Or clean offer. Yeah. I just put a contract under yesterday and I've never seen it. The numbers, I saw it posted on MLS. The numbers were ridiculous. And I was like, they priced that wrong. And I know they priced it wrong. They missed it by 100. So dumb. They missed it by 100 grand. So we wrote an offer. It's only contingent on a walkthrough and then contingent on pass fail inspections. But yeah, that's it. That's it. And then of course, my last back out option of finance. Yep. Yes, indeedy. Chris Webb, that's an excellent point. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Brandon Bernola. Hey, Brandon. We are buying a 4-unit property soon. Love it. A triplex and a single family. Holy cow. All units have established tenants. We do. What do we do on day one? I think is what you're saying. Send a welcome letter. Yes. Change locks. Yes. Curious about your process. Yes. So what you guys do is yes, absolutely. You send the letter. Number 2 is yes, absolutely. Within the first few days, change the locks. And the way that I position that with my tenants is, hey, listen, I don't know if the old landlord has old keys. I don't know if their kids ever got access to the keys or other handyman got access to the keys. I want to know, I want to say fresh start that only you have keys and I have keys, or only you have a keypad and only I have a keypad to it, or the key lock to it. So we usually swap those out literally the first 48, 72 hours. Yep. Yeah. So we do that in that first amount of time. That welcome letter is really important, knowing what any of them are going through or what any of them might know is happening or occurring in the unit. Issues that they might be having that you need to know about now, that potentially the landlord didn't know about that was selling them. So yeah, that letter, big, big, big. Yep. Yep. That's exactly what I would do. So yeah, day 1 is the letter. Yep. Within the first few days, change the locks. That's my process. Day 1's the letter. Within the first couple of days, change the locks, have that interaction with them. And then answer any questions that they might have about the letter. And then if they give you some maintenance things, do them quickly. Do them quickly. If it's something that you have to order something and say, hey, you know, normally this would be something we could handle in 4 to 5 days. However, with COVID being COVID, we have to order that. Now it's usually 2 or 3 weeks, but as soon as that comes in, we'll take care of it. We'll get that thing swapped over for you. So tell them, be honest with them. Listen, if it is a COVID thing, be honest with them. If it's not a COVID thing and it's just, you know, you don't have enough time, just be honest with that and say, hey, you know, we obviously not knowing that this was an issue beforehand. We really appreciate you letting us know and we're happy to do it. Yeah. Tenants are people, man. So they just want to see that you're making progress, that you're doing the work, that you're taking the steps, that you're helping them out. That's that's the most important thing. Do the right thing. It's where they live. Do the right thing. Anna K, it was a plain offer. No such thing, Anna. You won the deal. With all contingencies, but the first offer at list price. Okay. The seller canceled several showings that day. I will fly over to see the house for inspection day. Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. I love it. Congratulations, Anna. Hopefully that deal comes together for you. But don't be afraid to walk away if there's something really bad or scary there. Don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to walk away. You don't want to get into a bad situation just because you made the offer and it was accepted. There are the reasons to walk away. And so just make sure you stay disciplined and in those results. Brian. Hey, Brian, I don't think I've seen you here before. Super excited to see you. Hey, Matt, thanks for the great show. I use a pre-screening questionnaire. Yep. Before anyone steps foot into any of my properties. Okay. Most tenant rejects are from lying in the questionnaire. You see that too? Yeah. So, for me, honestly, it's much more about feel. It really is much more about feel. I'll ask them, questions like, how long you've lived where they are, what's the reason for your leaving. Just try and dialogue with them about that. What kind of heat system did you used to have? What are you used to working with? I asked them a lot of questions like that because there was this one person who came in and she was just nonstop complaining about the old landlord. Guess what? I knew she was not going to ever be happy. The stuff that she complained about was absurd. It was like, yeah, we waited 3 months to have that piece of trim fixed. One that you broke, a piece of trim, one that you broke, and you were pissing and moaning about a piece of trim that you broke and that the landlord, A, he should have charged you for it. B, it makes no sense to have him send over a handyman to fix a piece of trim. Wait until there's some other things on the list. Yeah. So suffice to say, she did not get the unit. Yeah. Ridiculous. Lying, criminal history, previous rental history, and evictions are my top 4 reasons for rejection. Yeah, sure. Yep. I mean, you want to see that the story is consistent. You want to see the story is consistent. Talk to their employer. I talk to their employer. That's one of the things that I do. And I want proof. The biggest thing for me is proof. So I want one thing. Okay. Oh, so when was your rent due? Oh, it's due the first. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're due the same time here. Yep, that's good. Yeah, the first is good. Cool. And then through the application process, show me proof of your last 3 rent payments. The 6th, the 9th, and the 14th. Guess what? Yeah, that's disrespectful. I provide you a place to live. I asked them in the question, say, yeah, so you said your rent was due on the 1st. What happened on the 6th, the 9th, and the 14th? Oh, one I'd forgotten about it, and one of this and one of that. And how they answer those questions. Hey, if they're honest with me and just say, yeah, what ended up happening is I worked for a restaurant, that restaurant closed down. And so I, told the landlord, hey, that restaurant closed down, or was doing limited shifts. And so I talked to my landlord and said, the best that I can do is, yes, I'll always pay you, but the best that I can do is pay you as much as I can pay you. But that's based on, how much work I get. I know that's not your problem, but that's my problem for right now until, COVID passes there. Is that cool? For me, if somebody were honest with me like that, and I knew that they still ended up paying, then yeah, if they showed those proofs of payment, I would actually be like, that tenant's mine. I'll keep them. Yep. Invest to wealth. How much do you pay for professional cleaning out after a tenant moved out? Depends on so many factors. How bad it is, how big it is. I actually pay. I don't have a set rate that I pay. I have a cleaning crew that I use. And basically they bill me out. I want to say I don't know how much it is. I think it might be $30 an hour per person. I think it's $30 an hour per person, but they bring all their own supplies. And so some places they'll say, yeah, we need to do this in 4 hours, so we'll bring 4 people. Well, so that's 16 hours times $30, and so it's $480. It really just depends on the place. Yep, depends on the place. How much do you? Okay, yep. REI stoners, have you had oil leaking cars on your properties, and how did you handle that? Yes, I have. We how do we handle that? A lot of it's like an much older driveway. We haven't been too rough with them on that. There's stuff that you can do, special power washing or yeah, there's stuff you can do. And then whatever you would do, like I would get a couple quotes. I would find a professional service company that handles something like that, and then handle it that way. I mean, we've never gone after, I don't think we've ever gone after anybody for that. Never gone after anybody for that. Yeah. I understand that could be annoying if it's a brand new driveway, but yeah, we've never gone after anybody like that. All right, stoners, like. Hey, thanks guys. Yeah. Hey, if you think I've earned a like, I appreciate it. We want to try and get this shared with 1 million people, so you guys are going to have to like it, or I'm going to have to change what I'm talking about. Journey L. Diaz, morning, Matt. Hey, good morning. Is there a certain website you buy your light fixtures from? No, not specific. I'll usually wait until there's like a special on a bunch of them on like an end cap at like a Lowe's or a Home Depot. But usually I am putting in the pancake lights, the Suncos, and I'll just buy those right from Sunco, right on, and you can find them online. You can find them on eBay, you can find them on Amazon, and you can look for like different vendors with specials that'll like, save you a little bit of money on them. And so you can do that and you can save some really good money. So that's what I would do. Are you familiar with DSCR? Yep. Debt service coverage ratio loans. Yep. Sure. I am. John Doe, just tuned back to here in the middle of something about kissing a prince. So I've kissed a lot of frogs to get my prince and princesses in my business. Yes, John Doe. Yes. I am not part of a throuple. But yeah, we kissed a lot of frogs to get our prince and princesses that we work with, for sure. For sure. Thank you also. Thank you for also wishing me happy birthday on Facebook. Yeah, you're welcome. Best birthday present will be when your course comes out. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're working. We had a really rough winter so far. It's been a rough 6 months. But yeah, we're trying to stay committed to the things we've committed to, which is the live streams. And we'll finish the book and the course in due time. So yeah, we're getting there. Let's see. So you're very welcome for the birthday wishes, Matt. Any tips on printing up an old staircase? Yeah, look at the spindles. And then also send me a picture. Send me a picture to lumberjacklandlord@gmail.com. Send me a picture, Jay Markey, and I'll tell you what I would do with it. I don't mind doing that for you. I can try it. REI stoners, I have a criminal. I have a criminal history of cannabis, but it hasn't hurt me. Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, I think there's certain things that I don't care about on a background. I don't care. I really don't care if people smoke weed. I'm a libertarian. I don't care. Like, knock yourself out, have a blast. Just don't do it where it affects somebody else. Like, I have one tenant that the upstairs tenant has called me on the downstairs tenant because they're smoking weed in the house. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable because it's a non-smoking unit and because she has a newborn upstairs. It's unacceptable. Don't smoke weed in the house. But I feel the same way about cigarettes. You want to sit out and smoke it on the porch? Knock yourself out. You want to smoke it in the backyard? Knock yourself out. I have to follow the laws of New Hampshire. That's what my lease says, is that you have to follow the laws of New Hampshire. Outside of that, you do whatever it is you want to do. I don't really care. It just can't be against the law. And don't be a dink and inconvenience your fellow tenants. That's it. I'm a very simple and fair man. Very easy. Ski, good morning. Is your credit score dinged if you charge more than 10% of your credit card limit if you pay off the balance in a few days? No, not unless they pull your credit in those days where you actually had that 10K sitting on there. Thanks for all you do, and God bless the family. Hey, thanks, Ski. Appreciate that. Rob, I think you underestimating the need for perfect trim in the irrational mind. Potentially. It's always a possibility. Crimson Knight. Well, that was easier than I thought. Yeah, too bad the city plows shoveled snow back on my property. Yeah, isn't that fun? Yeah, Manchester is famous for that. Fun when your property is right next to street and no yard. Yeah, they are famous for that. Drives me bonkers. That's one of the reasons I left too. Truck guy. Hey, truck guy. Never had you on here before. Super glad you came. How long do you have a typical rent lease? A year. Usually a year is pretty typical. Yep. A year is typical. Sure. I'd say that's probably 98% of my leases is a year. Yep. In special circumstances, we'll do a 6-month lease or what I call a non-winter lease, which is don't expect that I'm going to have to rent the place out in November, December, January, February. So if they come to me in October and say, hey, you've got a vacant unit, I'd like a 6-month lease. So October, November, December, January, February, March. And so it would be open the first week of April. I would do a lease like that for the right tenant. And I would also talk about, I would like to charge a premium because you're going to leave. And I know that, there's going to be stuff that you're going to do in the time that you're there. And it's a short lease and I'm going to have to actually rent it out again. So I would do a 6-month, but I'd make them pay a premium. But yeah, usually it's a year. Yep. What is your take on paying off a mortgage in full versus leveraging? Great question. I never pay off my mortgages. Ever. I think it depends on what you're trying to do with your business. I believe in healthy leverage. I am going back and all of the properties that I've bought in the last 3 to 15 years, I refinanced all of them. Every single one of them. Every one. Yep. Actually, that's not true. 2 I didn't, but they have extenuating circumstances. They're in the midst of town approvals for some special project or something along those lines. So yeah. Yep. I believe in leverage, 70% loan to value. So that way, if the market drops 20 and I lose another 8 for selling it, and if I have to sell, that means I can still sell it. Means I can still even put a little bit of money in my pocket, cover my costs. And I've already gotten my money out with a cash out refi. So I do 70% loan to value cash out refis. Yep. And I leverage. I don't believe in owning anything outright. I have a couple that are about to be owned outright, and I'm going to refinance them and pull cash out. Yep. Do you mail the welcome letter or hand deliver it? I hand deliver it in an envelope with their name on it, and I put it on their door. Yes, put it on their door. Yep. Crimson Knight 921. So what would be your strategy for all the renovations you do when you only have 2 rentals? I like how you try to put an extra touch, but seems hard for a small guy. Have a priority list of rehab. The stuff that I have that's extra touch though, or it's not extra touch. It's I still, this is the same way I run it forever. So it just costs me more now. I just do more of them. I did them in the very beginning. USBs didn't exist then, but dimmer switches did. So I just believe in the little extras that people like. It's a differentiator. It's just a differentiator, it's like not having the same boob light, that you get from Home Depot and Lowe's that are, two for $20. Why? At the end of the day, it's the same thing as my 7.25-inch baseboard versus, normal baseboard. My stuff's, with my contractor discount, I end up with like $1 a foot, and the cheap stuff is 50 cents a foot. Okay, now let's do the math. How much of that is in the house? How much is it in the house? 500 feet. 500 feet. You saved yourself $250, and that's the way it's going to look forever. Because how many people are going to gut and remodel your house after you remodel your house? So $250 more I spent on the flooring. I spend an extra $200 on light fixtures and dimmer switches and all of those nice added things. Yeah, I'll spend an extra, I'll spend that little extra money because it's a differentiator. It's a differentiator, and it's not, I'm not, a lot of that stuff is what makes the difference when you're renting out against brand new A-class construction. And yeah, they're $1,000 more, but I can be $800 less than them, and it pays for all of those bonuses. I get more rent for the higher end finishes. My granite countertops, my Brazilian granite countertops that I love, people love those things. They never stop talking about those things ever, ever, ever. They're just like, those things are freaking awesome. And they're not wrong. They're awesome. And tenants they love that they go to other people's places. I rarely have to even advertise my units anymore. I get asked all the time by existing tenants that are good tenants. They pass my name everywhere. So yeah, well worth it. Well worth it. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I don't think it's a big expense. I'm not saying spend thousands upon thousands of dollars on really trendy stuff, but you can spend, a couple $100 on switches. You're having a guy come in and do some switch work anyway. That's just for me, for my package. I like to, get brand new bright white Decora, tamper resistant outlets. And then the electrician will charge, $15 an outlet or whatever to swap them out, plus the couple bucks they cost me. Yeah. So I might end up with a bill for 800 or $1,000 on something like that. I think it's worth it. It's a better look, a cleaner look. That's just me. Yep. That's just me. John Mark Ventura. Hey, John Mark. I don't think first time listener. Oh, very cool. Yeah. I hadn't seen your name before. Just wanted to say hi. Thank you for your Q&As. Yeah. Very welcome. John, ask another question about real estate if you'd like. I can probably answer it. Crimson Knight. Oh, and going back to the boiler. Yeah. Pipes in the walls was second floor. Yeah. Again, depends. Yeah. Second floor is okay, and copper. But a lot of those transitions, where you're going to get leaks, where the transitions occur. And so, yeah, he'll pop out the wall. Yeah, it depends. I'm sure it's fine. If he's a registered licensed plumber, I'm sure it's fine. Yeah. Steve Dave, any thoughts on VRBO or Airbnb properties? Anyone else I should be paying attention to so I can learn more about running one? So if you're in Mike Zuber's course, I know that he had somebody that did a bunch of Airbnb stuff in there. Airbnb doesn't interest me at all. It's not a game I want to play. It's way too high touch. And so, yeah, you can look in the Airbnb group that he has there. I don't know, not anything else that I can think of, honestly. AirDNA. AirDNA I would look at. Yeah, AirDNA. AirDNA does a pretty good job of giving you the analytics of what an area will get. Because I did look into it. I just didn't like the business model. It wasn't for me. Money's good. Don't get me wrong, but I rather my long-term rentals, a lot more long-term rentals. Yeah, that's my game. I'd rather do that. J Mark and Matt, have you ever tried gutter heaters to prevent ice jams? If so, how was your experience with them? Never tried them. So no, Never tried them. Never tried them. So yeah, let me know what your experience is with them. If you try them out and see how they go. Matt, do you always start your leases on the first or do they vary? So I will, yes, I always start my leases on the first, but I will prorate it. So if somebody wants to move in on the 17th, I will prorate a lease for the 17th, but the payment is due on the first. Yeah, because that's when I want to be getting my payments. That's when I want to be having my spike in the work that I have to do and getting to the post office and all that other happy stuff, and not remembering what their lease is specifically and how to then get them a late payment because they're this many times late. So yeah, always the first. I'll prorate the first month. Even if they move in on the 5th, it's still okay. Here's how much you owe for the month. So yeah. And I will usually do the first full month. So if it's like the 5th, where it's basically the entire month, I'll say, sure, here's the reduced rate, and that's what you owe me, plus your deposit for move-in, and then your rent's due on March 1st. If that were February, as an example. Truck guy looking to buy a duplex, triplex, or quad. Very cool. Do you put them all in one buy box for a small multi, or do you put them in a separate buy box for each one, or when looking for a deal? Truck guy, that's an awesome question. Thank you for asking it. I have I'm trying to think. I have a buy box, and the buy box is small multifamily, 2, 3, and 4. You could split it up, but I kind of put it through the calculator in my head, of kind of what I know I can get for rents. Duplex units obviously have a premium because there's only one neighbor, but it's not that big of a reduction to a 3 or a 4. It's all depending upon the building and the makeup count of kind of how things are done. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Rob, feeling any pressure to upgrade after Mike pimped out his new office? No. Nope. No. Mike does that full time. This is his job, man. This is what he does 24/7 all the time. Yeah, this is what he does. Yeah. So for me, no pressure at all. I've been working on my new office / studio for a while. It'll get done when it gets done. Mike's a retired guy, 50 and living mi vida loca. And I got 3 young kids. Yeah, I got just a stacked plate. So I think his office is awesome. I think it's gonna be so great. I think it's really gonna, up the ante, I think, which is awesome. But yeah, I actually helped Mike pick out a lot of the equipment that he's going to use. So yeah, I'm thrilled for him. I'm thrilled for his new office. I think it means a lot for his brand. So yeah, no pressure. Nope, no pressure at all. But good question. Funny question from you, Rob, as always. Crimson Knight, looking at least $25,000 for all repairs, 2 boilers. Yep, those cabinets and granite countertops, new doors, any trim due to lead. Yep, 2 propane tanks, etc. It really adds up. Yeah, it does. Yep. Yeah, but then you're done. Then you're done. Then you're done. And it does, but there's the difference between $25,000 and $26,000 failure, like the $1,000 difference, and then you have that many more high-end finishes. You're not going to get any more money for having a new heating system. You just have to, it's expected you're going to have a heating system, So that's my thought, Crimson Knight. John Mark Ventura, looking into my first BRRR. Okay, be careful. Tough market to BRRR in, so just be careful. As single family home. Yep. Should I stay away from tenant occupied single family home or look for one that is already vacated? Thanks for your advice. Jerneil suggested your YouTube channel. Jerneil, well done, my friend. Thanks, Jerneil. So if you're gonna BRRR, you want it to be vacant. I prefer looking for a deal that makes sense with the tenant in it if they're paying and blah blah blah. And then when they move out, you kind of at that point have somewhat of a rhythm to you. You have some more money set aside, because in time you only get more money set aside. And yeah, I think that I'm not in a rush to do burrs. I do them when they make sense, when places are empty, when they need that's when I'm in doing burrs. And burr is an advanced strategy. Burr is not a simple strategy. Most people on their first few burrs lose money. Most people lose money on their burrs. Burrs are hard right now. Burrs are hard. Yep. So yeah, just make sure you watch as much as you possibly can. Tips and tricks. Watch my stuff on all the rehab stuff that I've done. I've got a ton of videos out there on rehabs that I do and how I make it look high end for as little money as possible. Not using cheap product either. It's just a matter of proper product selection. But yeah, I would look into that. But yeah, make sure you've done all your homework first. And when you know it's the right deal, you'll know it's the right deal and you'll move. And that's a good thing. You got to keep on doing your prep. Keep on doing your prep. That way you're ready to go. Kelly Burkino. I hope I got your name right. Kelly, I've not heard from you before. Super excited to have you here. Hi, I asked a month or two back about moving into my duplex to do a live-in reno and renting my primary with kids. Okay. I did it. Finally all moved. My old primary is renting $1,650 with an $898 monthly mortgage. I love it. Moved in minus 13-degree weather, not fun. Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, but good for you. You did it. That's awesome. I'm so excited for you. That's great news though. I mean, you're making 750, 757 or 752 a month and you moved. Like, that's awesome. Congratulations. Good job. Well done. See, I knew you were tough enough to do it and you did it. That's awesome. Crimson Knight plus 14,000 bucks for materials and labor for floor leveling and the flooring for 1,600 square feet. My national proper costs are really adding up. Yeah. Just like any of these projects, I always try and, build out, my budget and then stick within my budget. My budget is based on what I want to accomplish in the rental, but also what is my return going to be? If I'm going to refi it, is a contributing factor. If I know I can get more rents with doing those upgrades. So yeah, I don't spend money without understanding exactly what my return on that capital is going to be. It's a math equation for me. Always a math equation. Sometimes we have, the wrong word is leftover money, but that's kind of the right concept, which is there's money left over from, rehabs, redos, etc. Give me just 1 second, guys. Sorry, contractor, actually tenant. See that super service? Drew started following me. Good job, Drew. You'll see those crazy awesome posts there. Okay, look at this. The plan to figure out what's to do. Basements in both places are full of stuff. That's a problem. Of course, it's always a problem. Ooh, that's a great idea. Okay. I know this is boring YouTubing. I get it. Sorry, had to answer the question. So yeah, so I don't spend any money on any of those projects unless I know what my return is going to be. Generally speaking, am I getting more rent? Am I refining out? What exactly am I doing? Right. And then how fast is that going to happen? Because now who knows what's going to happen with rates or how fast, with the velocity by which rates are going to change. That's my feeling on it. Kelly Birkenbow. Thanks for encouraging me. You're welcome. You did a great job. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. Next journey, right? REI owners, so many good questions on here, building up my knowledge. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. And thanks to Matt for all his time he donates to us. REI owners, you're more than welcome. I agree. Awesome questions today. You guys are killing it. Well done, Steve. Thanks. Air DNA is telling me great things. Awesome. Seems to be a great site too. Yeah, Air DNA is fantastic. Yep. I mean, again, take this from a non-Airbnb VRBO guy, but when I'm an analytics guy, I like numbers. So when that quenches my thirst for them believing based on what's going on that they've got some pretty good numbers. That's me. So for me, I like that. For me, I like that. Kenny A, I'm closing on a duplex investment property in 2 weeks. That's awesome. I've never owned a primary. Okay, owner occupied home. Yep. Looking to house hack my next property. Would I be considered a first time home buyer for FHA 3.5% or conventional 5%? I don't think so. I don't think so. Are you house hacking and moving into the duplex? I think the rule with the duplex, I'm not the right guy to ask. Matt, the mortgage guy, is great. Matt, the mortgage guy, is a great resource. I did a live stream with him last week. It was a lot of fun. I like Matt. Matt squared, the two of us on there. It was a lot of fun. I had a blast with him. And so I don't think you're considered first-time home buyer, but I could be wrong. I know that there is a rule that if you don't own anything and you haven't owned, or you haven't owned anything for 3 years, that you're then considered a new home buyer with a lot of the different rules. So don't take my word for it on that one, Kenny. I would ask a mortgage broker because I don't know for sure what the answer is there. Truck guy, where do you comp rental prices for future tenants? Craigslist, and I have 100 units. So I always have a unit or some units coming available, and I'm always in the market for what other stuff is getting. So I'll talk to real estate brokers that are rental specialists. Craigslist is where I will look a lot. I'll look at Zillow. I'll look at apartments.com from the customer side. I'll look at those areas and see what the quality of product is and then price mine accordingly. There was one time when I went to go post something and there were 2 other units available. So I could price it whatever I wanted. And I kind of did. And I got it anyway. Got it anyway. So yeah, that's where I get my stuff. That's where I get a lot of my comps from. Jay Markey, what type of interior window treatments do you prefer? Not the cheap ones that break, but I'll buy nicer, more expensive stuff. And so like the cuttable ones, the honeycomb ones from Home Depot, we'll usually use those. They're 40, 50 bucks a piece. We'll put those in a lot of times. And that's worked out pretty well for us. Yeah. Crimson Knight, for the doors, 3-panel from Home Depot, solid core, about 230 bucks is what I think I saw in your rehab video. Yeah, we've done, so those doors, we don't buy doors from Home Depot. We buy the Craftsman 3s, and they've gone up a lot in price. I want to say they're $275 to $300 a door now. But yeah, we use Craftsman 3s and we buy them from lumber yards. We don't buy them from Home Depot. Brosco is the main builder of doors in this area. Almost every door order, they have a massive, massive catalog, but Brosco is who we order our doors. We don't order them directly because we're not allowed to. Hold on 1 second, guys. So Craftsman 3s, Brosco is the maker. Order them through a lumber yard, and the lumber yard makes their piece. But the Craftsman 3s, it's a great door, solid core door, beautiful, beautiful door. And you can then go rabbit split jams, or you can go one jam, no jam, no rabbit jam. And you can also do trim on both sides. It comes with trim on both sides, or you can just have trim on one side and then trim out the other side. Really just depends on what the application is. And you can buy them 2x4, 2x6. And then also if you go split jam, You can also, rip off the other side. We've had some where we had 8-inch walls because it was a really old house and we just had to build out the other side of the jam. So those are all options. Yep. What would you replace the old wooden lead paint windows with? Lansing products is what I've been using for years. They used to be 2 to 3 week turnaround for me. Now they're 12-week. I've bought a lot of stuff from, if it's like a standard size, affordable windows and doors, affordable window out of Chester, New Hampshire, Auburn, New Hampshire. Because I know Crimson Knight, they're actually close to you. But normally I'll use Lansing Building Products or Harvey. It's Harvey got bought by Lansing. That's usually where I'll order my windows out of. Flash of light. What new toilet brand model do you buy when there's an old? Oh yeah. Flash of light. Awesome question. Awesome question. Flash of light. I think I've seen, I think you asked a question last week. I buy the Viper toilet from you can get it at a supply house. I'm looking it up for you actually. Yeah, it is a Gerber Viper toilet. How's that, huh? Gerber Viper toilet. Yeah, that's a great toilet. It's a I think it's either a 162 or a 128 gallon per flush. Great toilet. Don't have clogging issues with them. But yeah, good quality toilet, not overpriced, and you can get them round front. You can get round front or also elongated front. How about them apples? We're talking toilets, people. Same question for a bathroom faucet that is in bad shape and needs to be replaced. The brands that I like are Kohler and Delta. Those are the two brands that I like for those. Yep. Yeah, I would use those, Kohler and Delta. Those are the two that I like the most. Yeah, can you hear my kids out there? They're going so loud. I can hear my son. Huh? No. Yeah, he's funny. Yeah, so I would go Delta or Kohler for faucets. Hey, Nisi, how are you? Good afternoon to you too. Oh, sorry, I missed Crimson Knight. When painting a room, would you paint the walls or tape first? I have a very special process. We tape the floors, and then we spray all of our trim. I'm very specific. I want very clean, very beautiful trim. Yep. Yeah, so we spray all of our trim. So we tape everything, we spray it, but we only tape the floors and tape the windows. Then we spray everything, and then everybody cuts in, and then they roll. They roll after they cut it. That's our process. That's how we do it. Yeah, and it's very efficient. And it gets me the beautiful trim that I like with no ugly brush marks. Yeah, yep. That's what I would do. Jennifer Medina. Hi, I hope everyone is doing well. Can't wait to watch the replay and learn some valuable stuff. Thanks, Jennifer. Yeah, we covered, guys, honestly, we've covered a boatload of stuff. Holy Toledo. Yeah, we've covered a lot of stuff today. Toilets, sewer lines, augers, Yeah, paint, windows. Man, I feel like I built a house. It's only been doing this for 2 hours. Amazing. Yeah, amazing. So yeah, thanks for saying, Jennifer. I appreciate that. Abdul Mateen, I hear you say your network is your net worth often. Can you explain that? Yeah, sure, absolutely. So it was really hard becoming a real estate investor being young. I was 22, 21, 20, 22 when I bought my first house. So imagine how many people took me seriously. I didn't have my beard. I was clean shaven. I looked like a 9-year-old. And that was a problem getting people to take me seriously. And I had the money. I'd saved money. I was super disciplined. I was ready to go. And so I would just reach out to people, have conversations with people. As time passed by, I got bigger. I got better. And I met more people. And so that network is my supply guys, my vendors, my contractors, the towns. Talking to the towns when I have a problem with a tenant, lawyers, you name it, your network, all the people that have knowledge that you're willing to share knowledge with, but also that you're willing to learn from, I can call up probably 30 different people in my city and they know who I am. That's only because I made it a point to introduce myself, tell them who I was, tell them what I do. Yeah, that's your network being your net worth. That's how you do it. Introduce yourself, tell them what you do, and let them know, hey, if there's ever a problem, if you ever look it up and it's a property I own, please don't hesitate. Just call me. Let me know. I'm happy to help. Happy to fix whatever problem there is. Happy to take care of it. Just let me know. Happy to help. That's what I recommend. That's your network being your net worth. Crimson Knight, how do you find comparable rentals when you are the only 4-bed in Nashua? And in Manchester, you are basically the only duplex in the area in a sea of single family homes. I go with what the market is, or I go with what I see in the market. And then if it's a premium like that, then I add to the premium. What does Nashua housing rent out for, right? If they rent out for $1,700 for a 3-bed and $2,000 for a 4-bed, and you get $2,000 for a 3-bed, then I would just take that same percentage and increase it the same percentage. It's not a hard based rule, but it's usually a pretty easy way to get to the number. It's usually a pretty easy way to look there. Yeah. Yep. That's what I would do. Yep. Nisi Allison. Have a tenant with cancer. Sorry to hear that. I know exactly how tough that is. I'm really sorry to hear that. And told them of the recovery of your daughter, inspire them. Power prayer. Yeah, that's awesome. We want everyone to know exactly what's gone on with our little nugget. So yeah, we just believe we're walking through a miracle. That's what we believe, because she was given an 8% chance to live in September and her cancer is completely gone. So yeah, we're just super blessed. And how we know it was because we had literally thousands of people praying for our daughter. So we are immensely blessed and so happy we got the result we got so far and continue. Yep. So appreciate that, Nisi. Hip Hop 1 Silver, agree, Kohler and Delta. Yep. Yeah, good product. Good product. I mean, I've bought some other stuff and I'm replacing it in 5 years. And what's the point? I want that faucet to stay functioning and quality for 20 years. Why? Because how much does it cost to put the faucet in? I used to do all my own faucets. Now I do fewer of them. And when I have a plumber put a faucet in, it's a half hour or 45 minutes. And that's $75. I might as well have them put one in that gets me further down the road than buying a piece of junk. That's my thought. Jennifer Medina, if not using Alibaba now, who are you ordering from? So I still use Alibaba. Some things I can't get ordered. But I will buy then, depending on what it is, I'll look on eBay. I will look on Amazon. Usually not Amazon. I'll usually look on eBay. I'll look on Craigslist. Yep. And then usually there's recovery companies. So there's one around here called Electric Barn. They have an awesome business. They go into buildings and they'll disassemble the buildings, but they'll also buy leftover stock from a project all in one fell swoop from a contractor and just write them a check. So they do have new stuff and new material and things like that. And so I'll just check those places and they're cheaper. They buy it for a fraction of the cost. That means I buy it for a fraction of the cost. So yeah, still so eBay, sometimes Amazon, large box vendor where you can get the volume discounts, Craigslist, and then like a secondary salvage company that they don't just buy used stuff. They buy, stuff that's left over from projects. So yeah. Julie Anderson, a 10-minute recap would be great. Holy cow, Julie, if I could fit everything that we talked about today in 10 minutes, I'd be reventure consulting. Like all that guy can do. I mean, he can recap in less than 10 minutes because all he says is crash, crash, crash. Julie, we covered sewer lines, kitchens, heating systems, windows, paint, how to paint, plumbing lines. Yeah, we covered a lot, Julie. Yeah. Yep. A lot. But thanks for coming. Always happy to have you. Nisi Ellison, would you pump out septic at purchase or just have it inspected? I haven't inspected. Yeah. I want them telling me if that field is bad. The one thing that you really want to know about septic in large part is when that field was done. When the field was done, how old is that field and how many people have been on that field? Because I've seen even the best of systems, they can last 30 years, but if you're 25, you're probably fixing that thing in the next few, you're probably redoing it in the next few years. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Hey, Don. Good to see you. No worries. I understand you. Sorry for being late. Flight tomorrow to meet appraisal for refi. Oh, dude, good luck, man. Nervous as hell about it with the market. Yeah, I get it. But the good news is stock market doesn't matter. What the market is actually, it's what's sold. So you should be good, man. And you've done all the work. Don's done a ton of work on getting this refi done. I think you'll do great. I'm the same way on these appraisals. In fact, Thursday, I walked 6 properties for a refi. So I'm with you, my man. 6 properties I walked for a refi, and guess what? It was freaking 0 that day. Freaking 0. Man, that's saw the appraiser and I was like, look at us picking this day. He started laughing. I was like, unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Yeah, dude, you're going to do great. So excited for you, Don. I can't wait to hear too. Can't wait to hear. Nisi Ellison, also, do you give all your contractors 1099s? Yep. Yeah, all the significant ones. Yeah. Yep, we do. We do. Stupid Zillow estimate, John Etherton, stupid Zillow's estimate says loss on a gain value of the appraisers doesn't look at Zillow. No, I think they hate Zillow too. Yeah, I hope not too, but yeah, I think they hate Zillow. REI Stoners, I understand your wife changed careers into real estate. Yep. What does she do to make you a better team? Oh, that's a really good question. After being laid off, I'm thinking I should change careers too, thinking property management. Yeah, I mean, you can. So what does she add to the team? She does, so kind of like with Mike Zuber and Olivia was really kind of back office, and Mike was the one who was looking for the deals, finding the deals, setting up the financing, and then managing the projects. That's really a lot what I do as well. I handle the more difficult tenant issues as well. Ashley handles tenant issues. She'll also jump out and she'll do like a heat system restart, or, a quick inspection if somebody has a problem with something, but she does a lion's share of our paperwork. Yep. She has a lion's share of our paperwork. So mail processing, check processing, MAIL mail processing, check processing. I handle pretty much all the mortgages and the banker with the banker. She does that a lot too. She'll work with the bank, kind of interface them on a different thing, because every year we have to do a personal financial statement. And on top of that, we have to do just, she'll follow up on taxes and insurance. And so she does a lot of that kind of grind stuff. It's just, it has to be done. But she spends her time a lot on that and managing that, because that can be done all day long, all night long. Like that can be done when you're sitting in a hospital bed, waiting for care, for the bean. We call her the bean. So yeah. Yep. That's what she does. So yeah, property management's tough. As an investor, you have an advantage because you know what investors are going to be looking for. And so that's one of the things that we talk about a lot to folks, so yeah, that's good. If you go that route, good luck, REI. It's starting a business is certainly hard. It's a lot of work. I heard somebody say to me, well, yeah, that's great, but you make your own hours. You run your own business. It's like, I'm an idiot. My customers make my hours. I had to be available to them. It's not about me. Dummy. So rude. I'm so rude. Flash of light. I see a lot of scam rental listings on Craigslist, so it's become a bad experience. Okay, to get real data. If you don't see the same thing, no, we don't see the same thing in our area. Nope. We see Class A will even advertise on Craigslist. Yeah, we haven't seen that issue here. Yeah, haven't seen it. I'm sure there are some scams in there for sure, but overall, no. The network being the network thing is, again, I was looking at it and I can't remember the last ad I had to post to get a tenant. It's been a lot. Like we've gotten just a ton of tenants from people expanding their business and needing more places, more people, like just, yeah, it's been nuts. Absolutely nuts. Just gonna see if this is an important message. Nope, it's not. Yeah. Nope, don't see the same thing in my area. Flashlight. Abdul Mateen said F. Wow, that's amazing. I'm so happy for y'all. She's doing better. Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Yeah, we appreciate everyone's thoughts and prayers. We've been super blessed. Yeah, we're just a little bit tired. January has been a tough month. We actually went live with 8 units in January. So filling those, and they were existing buildings, and so new buildings to us. So filling those, seeing things that the other landlord for some reason wouldn't take care of, and so we had freeze ups and no heats, and we have a brutal winter. Like 4 snowstorms. A half a dozen days, single digits, a couple days below 0. It's been a rough January. I'm very excited for March. The snow isn't as bad as the frigid cold. The frigid cold's the scary thing for sure. J Marky Matt, have a property with a sinking porch. Yep, it is starting to pull away. Okay, the handrail away from the house. Do you know how to raise it and stabilize? Yeah, usually you can take off the skirting on the ends. Usually you can do that. And then I would, depending on how much it is, I would, have a professional work with you, but I would crank it up, like on a big heavy duty jack. I would crank it up. When I would crank it up, I would also have like like a temporary wall that you can stick underneath the joists. And then I would dig out where the posts are, the support posts. I dig out those support posts, put new footings in, and then, have those existing posts be able to sit on those new footings and then hurricane tie them in. That's what I would do if I have something that's starting to pull away. Yep. I want to get it before it gets too pulled away. So that's what I would do. Yep. Don Etherton, Uncle Benny's in Loveland, Colorado does that secondary salvage company. Cool. Yep. Yeah. It's I like secondary salvage stuff. Because it's not always used. Hip Harp Silver, when buying a rental, is it a good idea to update to something you would let your child live in? Sometimes, depends on what the unit is. A 1-bedroom, no. A 2-bedroom, maybe, depending on location. It might never be something that somebody moves into with a child. Because, I have some units that rent out that are like right downtown. No one wants, the only people that want to live there are young people, like in their mid-20s, because they want to be right downtown. So I wouldn't waste the money there. I live there because the place is freaking awesome, but it's way out of budget for a single parent with a kid that might be taking up the room. And it wouldn't be a good fit. I mean, no yard, parking is like city parking, like it just has a bunch of other. So I don't think every unit, but sure, I think some. I mean, we have a rule that we won't rent out any unit that we wouldn't live in. That's the rule that we have, and that steered me pretty well. So Hip Harp Silver, it costs the same to pump it and inspect it at the same time here for septic. Yeah, if it's the same exact cost, then by all means, have it pumped and inspected that way. Yeah, by all means. Don Etherton, Pueblo is supposed to have snow and 0 at night. Oh yeah. So used to 70-degree days. Yeah, ain't that the truth, right? Julie Anderson, you are a great team, as it should be. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, I love my wife very much. We have a lot of fun together. We laugh a lot. So we're just super blessed. Don Etherton, was everything okay this past Thursday? Yep, no Mr. and Mrs. show. Yeah, so everything was good. Ended up being okay, but that was our second day in a row of below 0 at night with wind chills in the teens, negative teens, like -17, -15. So we had 4, and these are all in new, with the exception of one, they're all in new buildings. We had 4 freeze ups, and we had 4 no heats, and 3 of the no heats ended up being okay, but one of them ended up being a dead boiler. Boiler died. Yep. The tenant was just not filling the oil on a regular basis. And so every single time they filled it with oil, they were waiting until they ran out. And then sometimes they wouldn't get it fixed the same day. So that was a problem for me. So I'm a little bit bummed and pissed at the same time. But it was kind of, it's not okay, but we had actually brought natural gas to that house 18 months ago when they were redoing the road, because then they put a 5-year moratorium on. So we actually brought natural gas to the house. And so now we'll just put it in a brand new system. Fairly simple. Yep. $15,000. And yes, I'm doing a IBC boiler, 40% high output baseboard. That's what's going in there. Yep. 100%. So that's all that happened. We were actually still going to do the show. And then Ashley came down from putting the baby to bed. I put the 2 older ones to bed, and I was like, I'm done. I have nothing to offer anybody. I'm done. I said, tapping out. I'm done. Yeah. So that's why we didn't do the show Thursday. Rob, we are trying to replace our bathroom sink today, and Home Depot has been out of the parts for a week. Yep. Supply chain, freaking nightmare. The best thing I can tell you to do is go to a supply house instead of a Home Depot. Plumbing supply houses often will have stuff that Home Depot runs out of or that Lowe's runs out of. Yep. Yeah, long Wednesday night. Yeah, we had a long Wednesday night too. It was a really, really horribly long week. We are very tired. I wanted to make sure that we still did it, that I still did at least this show. But yeah, if you guys couldn't tell, I'm exhausted. But I hate missing the show. But yeah, exhausted, fried, cooked. Stick a fork in me. It's been such a long week. And Ash is going to the hospital with the baby tomorrow. So it's going to be me and the two older kids. And that makes it so hard to get work done during the week. So yeah, it'll be a challenging week, but we'll make it through. It's all good. We're super blessed. So it's cool. Abdul Mateen. That's a nice saying. Thanks for explaining. Yep, cool. Yeah, you have brought a bright light to the YouTube REI space. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just want to, we've been so blessed as a family, building our business. We wouldn't be in the same place today if we didn't have a lot of the contractors that we have. We bonus them, even though they're 1099s, even though they're companies, we bonus them. We give them things throughout the course. Sometimes it's an extra, a few $100. We always give referrals. We'll always take a call for them if they're trying to get a big job. We'll always take a call for them. So we really just want to treat them right. They've helped us build our business. We wouldn't be where we are today. Don't get me wrong. We'd be successful because we're driven to success, to succeed. But I don't think we'd be as successful if we didn't have a lot of the people. My plumber is a good friend of mine now. Yeah, these people, we have relationships. My bankers, I texted my banker Friday night, Saturday and Sunday. So we talked all weekend long. And she's just amazing. She's absolutely amazing. I adore her. And her husband is just the man because he's just super patient. But we'll talk about, family stuff, but we'll talk about, like the market stuff too. So yeah, we're just super blessed. And yeah, make your network your net worth. That will absolutely come true for you. It will treat people the right way. Yep. Yeah. Cool. Hip Hop Silver. Have you ever used the rubber? I hate that stuff. Yep. Use it. Hated it. Yep. Use it in one. Yep. Yeah. To what Don Etherton said, that's exactly right. Don's right. Use it in, use it in wet places, use it in maybe a basement area or something like that, or moist area. Yep. Yeah, we use very, very, very rarely. We don't use it in any main spots or spaces, if that helps. Shamir Bless. Hey, Shamir. What do you do if you have a property you want to offload in a recovered market and high interest rates, and what you owe on the house is higher than the property value? So that's called a short sale. One of the options there is you could do a sub 2 loan. You could do a sub 2. If you did a sub 2, you actually being the person that sub 2. So you can sell it somebody subject to, because your loan that they're taking over, is at a great rate. And so their payment is going to remain low, but the equity there. So if you don't want to write a check, you could always do it sub 2. And then put yourself in a decent position where you can at least then offload the loan. That's what I would probably do if I got stuck. Rob, I had to take the dog out last night at midnight. I was thinking it was way too cold. Then I thought of you. Yeah, 59. Rob, lace of curse words. 59. Yeah, you must have been frigid. It was so freaking cold. It was so cold. Legit. Like when it's 2 and you have 20-mile-an-hour wind gusts, do the math. It's, minus 18. It's frigid. and I have plenty of natural padding and I dress well. Like it was, but there's nothing for this. Is why a lot of times I'll keep a beard because there's nothing for here. And you can wear those big, huge face mask things, but I hate those things. Yeah. 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 Horrible. Don Etherton. Other than that, Matt is correct. It is junk. Yeah, it is junk. That stuff is garbage. Garbage. I know a lot of people are watching football now. Off to watch the football. Yeah. I'll answer any more questions as you guys get them coming in. Oh, actually, I might even see if the bean. Let's see. See if the bean's up. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Whew. Long week. I see. So tonight's supposed to be bitter cold again. Waiting to see what that's going to look like tonight and see what happens there. So yeah. Inconvenient to say the very least with this ridiculous cold weather. Ridiculous cold weather. Oh my goodness. Look at you in your snazzy outfit. Hi. Oh, here's no, you guys can come and say hi. Oh, you saying hi too? That's Samuel. And that's Bryn. Watch out, guys. Oh, and that's you, huh? You say hi to everybody.
Just my balloon did that.
Yeah, you don't need that balloon right now. I can promise you that. Oh yeah. All right. Well, just okay. Be careful. All right. You're gonna get underneath. Oh, I know. Are you saying hi to everybody?
Hi.
Yeah. So this is Samuel. He is 4. And then Bryn, who's under my desk getting her balloon, is 2.5. Want to jump up and say hi to everybody? Okay. Cool.
Okay, let's let Daddy.
Yes.
That's great. Let's look at
And then
Come on.
Mr. Job Foreman.
Okay.
Did you get a call from 40? Or a text from 40?
I got a call. I called her back and she left and she didn't leave me a message and didn't answer.
Yeah, just text her back. They had their line froze up again. I think that's in line. Yeah. Are you being so vocal?
Yeah.
Okay, quit turning Daddy's office upside down,
Let's go.
my
Out.
little kids. See you, boys and girls. I'll see you in a little bit. I'm almost done.
Okay.
All right, I'm almost done. So that's the kids. Yes, Sam and Bren. Yes, thanks, guys. Yep, those are the kiddos. So Sam is 4. I was telling him, I was like, you're the one that made me a dad. And then Bren, I said, you're the one who made me a girl dad. And then Eliana. Yeah, they're fun. They're a lot of fun. They're part of the reason I'm so tired. I love them. They're the best. Jennifer Medina, we were negative 30s. Yeah, my husband didn't work no windows in the houses and they weren't wrapped, so they called it 2 days last week. Yeah, Jennifer, ain't that the truth, right? That was brutal. Man, that was brutal. Shamir Bless, I got 18 inches of snow yesterday. What a tough weekend. Yeah, NH didn't get as much snow as Mass. Yeah, there were parts. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there were definitely like the Cape and those areas. They got nailed. Yep. Yeah, we didn't get nearly as much as you guys this time, which is rare. Usually we get crushed and you guys get it light. Yeah, we got nailed. That sucked. That was the worst. Rob, thanks, Matt. You're welcome. Julie Anderson, it's been a beautiful weather here in Washington State, but communists. Yeah, those little things called communists. That was pretty funny. Mike Allen, hey, I finally caught up to the live broadcast. Hey, Mike, good. That's cool. Awesome. Rob, thumbs, guys. Yeah, appreciate the likes, guys. As always, all the likes, we appreciate them. We want to try and get that YouTube algorithm understanding that, man, some of the garbage that I have to put myself through watching so I can tell you guys what other people are saying. Oh my word. Some of that stuff is just such garbage. It makes my blood curdle. Yeah. Yep. About the kids, Shamir Bless. Oh yeah, Mike Allen, she's adorable. Thanks. Shamir Bless. Hi, Sam Brennan. Thanks. All right, Pop Silver. Hey kids, precious. Yeah, they're great. Paul and Silva, she's adorable, gorgeous kids. Yeah, thank God they look like my wife. Oh my word. Actually, the little one, it's really funny. Everyone's like, that kid's like looks just like you. They wouldn't know. They haven't seen without a beard in 20 years. It's kind of funny. Oh yeah. So we can do the dive. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, cool. I like that. What, if any, special accommodation would you offer a tenant who informed you that they had a serious medical condition? What type of accommodation for what time, length of time? I think it really would depend on what it is. I think it would depend on what it is. I want to help them. I don't want to throw them out. Rob on snow. Rob, send me your address. I'm going to send you a snowball. Actually, I'm going to send it to your wife and have her throw it at you. I think that's a better idea. I would just ask them. I would have the conversation with them. I'm not in this to throw people out of their houses or to throw them out of their units. I want to try to accommodate, but like I can't do stairs anymore, but there's stairs to their unit. If you can get, so we did have somebody that got a ramp donated to them for their house, for their kids, for their son that had a wheelchair. But I did tell them, I said, hey guys, I was just very honest with them. I said, okay, this is what you're paying right now for rent. This is what it's going up to. So know that it's going up to at least that this year. And then we're going to follow cost of living increase after that. So if you want to put the ramp in, by all means, you're certainly allowed to do it. That said, just make sure you're aware this is what your rents are going to be going to. And they made the decision. They're like, yeah, we're out of this. We're out of here. We're out. See ya. Okay, sounds good. Bye. They were paying $1,650. I told them their rent was going to $1,850. Market was way higher than that. And in fact, I just rented it out for $3,300 a month. They were paying $1,650. For those of you who are wondering, or aren't very good at math, 2x. And more importantly, that's all profit. Just saying. All right, let me see if I can share this thing. You guys tell me if this screws up. How do you deal with reasonable accommodation? Do you modify your house for such tenants? Yeah, I've modified. Yeah, sure. Yep, we've modified before. Yep. But we also tell them what our plans are. Hey, this is what our cost is going to be, blah, blah, blah. So we've worked with them. Yep. Yeah, for sure. We've moved somebody to when a unit was available, we moved them into a different unit. So they didn't have stairs, was one example. And kept their rent the same, which I didn't really love doing, but we did it for them. So I think it really just depends on the situation. It really depends on the situation. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's really what it is. All right, let's get to a deep dive, guys. Share my screen. All right. Crap. This is what I hate about this view. Okay. I think this is better. What the heck? I can't shit. I can't minimize. Ah, come on. That's not what I want. All right, let's see. Because I want to be able to see your guys' questions. Can you guys see this okay? It is. It's a huge return. Yep. Can you guys see this okay? I'll just wait until I know you can see it okay. Yeah, 3,300 was a crazy high return. It's very specific. It was for the COVID program. So it might be that rent for 15 months, I think. Screen shares. Now it is. Thanks, CJ. Hey, CJ, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Good. Glad you guys can see. Okay. So deep deal dive. This is what I'll take you guys through. Hold on 1 second. Of course, we get a message right when I'm trying to begin. Oh, okay. There's just a wholesale inspection being canceled. Okay, cool. Brandon Looney Tunes fan. Cool. Glad you're here. This is where we do a deep deal dive. We talk through the numbers on a deal. So here's the dive. 498 was the listing price. 525 is what we agreed on. It was an on-market MLS deal. And I was, there were 3 offers higher than mine. And so I was not the highest and best. I was the best. That's the only way I can put it. They liked my deal terms. My deal terms were pretty simple, which was the inspections were pass fail, number 1. I showed them proof of funds for the deposit. I showed them a letter for pre-approval from my bank. And we did a reverse offer strategy on this and asked them what they wanted to see. My original offer was 500. They basically came back and said, we like everything else about your deal more, but we need to get the price up. And our answer was, well, we're not going to pay what the guy is going to pay the most because we're giving you the cleanest, sexiest deal. So Anna, if you're still watching, this is what I'm talking about. So it was the cleanest, nicest deal they were going to get. They just said, if we can get you guys up to 525, we'll do the deal with you. Done. Piece of cake. So all in deposits, closing costs, everything all in was 122,700. It was like 730 something or 750 something. So I just made it 122,700 to make it flat. With the 4% rate on a 30-year fixed, it was $2,005.14 was the principal and interest. On the term, it was 30-year fixed. Taxes are $9,200. This is a duplex. The taxes are $9,200 a year. So yeah, that's high, but we don't have income tax. We don't have sales tax. The insurance was $1,347 for the duplex. And that's your typical landlord / fire policy. So it's, obviously not anything of contents inside the house. Make ready $5,000. I put the $5,000 in just for the hell of it. There's little things I see here and there, but all in all, like the house is, I live in it tomorrow. The $5,000 was just, looks like needs to be some painting. The whole house doesn't need painting, but it needs some painting. It needs just little things here and there. And so I just said, you know what? I know I can do that all for $5,000. So I threw $5,000 in there for make ready. So my total all in is 127,700. But of the financed amount, I know my payment on a monthly basis is going to be $2,884.06. Who is ready for the big numbers? Not everybody all at once. Jeez. Here. Total current rent was $2,000 because one side was rented for $2,000, the other side wasn't rented. I know my market inside and out, so I know exactly what the other unit was going to rent for. But in my spreadsheet, I have this cute little exercise that is, okay, let's just say whatever I'm getting for one side, if it's an identical unit, I'm going to get the same thing for the other side. So I ran that number. That was $4,000. At $4,000, so $2,000 aside, I would make $1,115.94 a month. And that would, Let me see if I can do this. All right, hold on. I'm just going to move a little bit of stuff. Move this over here. Real estate becomes the issue. Because I want to bring this out this way. Here we go. Cool. All right, cool. So, yeah, so $4,000 a month, $1,100 profit, 13. I want you guys to see the percentages. There we go. Now I got them. Now I got everything. Oh, I love it. All right, so $4,000, $1,115 a month, 13,391 times is the yearly. So my rate of return, my return on capital is 10.49%. Any questions so far? I'll wait for your yeses or questions. And then I'll show you the rest of the numbers. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Okay. Is anyone still there? Hopefully you guys are still there, able to see everything okay. I'll go off the first, yes, you're still there. Make sure I didn't lose you. Okay, yep, Chester Williams. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. All right, so 10.49, yep, still here. Good, cool. All right, so see everything. So existing rent doubling, yep, 10.49. Okay, so that was based on just taking the existing rent I know I'm already getting on one side and doubling it and saying it's identical, I'll get it on the other side, right? So 10.49 return. The next one was housing number. I always put a housing number calculation in here. What does housing pay for those units? They pay an extra $50 a side. So that was, $100 a month. It's 12.15. It's 14,591. It's an 11.43% return. Now here's the numbers start to really get exciting. So rent total after lease. I took the other side. Instead of renting it for $2,000, I knew what it was worth. So $5,100 is I rented out the other side for $3,100. So it's $2,000, which is what the current rent is for the current tenant. It's $3,100 on the side that I rented out, and I rented it out in 2 days. 2 days. Okay. 2 days. I rented it out. 2. 5,100. Now I make 22,1594, 26,591 on 1 year profit. Puts my profits in the 20s. Like I told you, my last 7 deals, they're all over 20%. So I'm at 20.82. Literally with that deal closing. Dion, if you're not here, raise your hand. The best dad jokes ever. All right. And here's the last number. Rent after renewal. They can renew at the 3,100 that I rented this side out, but I obviously know what the market is. The market's 3,100. Maybe it's higher next year. Maybe it's flat. It's not lower. And even if it is, okay, maybe it's a little bit lower, but it's probably not. So I'm probably not 5,100. I'm probably 6,200, 3,100 aside. That makes me 33.15 a month. 39,791. Which is a 31.16% return. So that's what I look at when I look at a deal. I don't figure for 5% vacancy because I never have had a 5% vacancy. I'm always way sub 1%. I don't even bother accounting for it anymore. It's not a number I carry in my units because I never have them vacant. The only time that they're vacant for more than a week or two is if I'm rehabbing them. That's it. So I don't account for vacancy. As far as maintenance goes, like I tell you guys, I have a $50,000 fund that I just basically have sitting there that if I need to write a check for some big maintenance item, not a big deal. I can do it. But this $5,000 make ready, that's kind of $5,000 that I have to spend on the things that based on the inspection report, I have to kind of get right. So that's it. That's the deep deal dive. But yeah, this is a MLS deal. And I heard one agent tell her, it got back to me because real estate's a small world, that an agent told her person that I overpaid. All I have to say is F you overpaid. That's how much money I'm going to make on this property this year. Yeah, I overpaid. Whatever you say. I hate it when people say I overpaid for something. You can imagine why. Because they're doing that based on not knowing anything. And they're doing that based on clearly not having done the math. And as good as this deal is a beautiful deal. But let's just say I let this person stay at 2,000, which I'm not going to do. They're going to get a bump. And if they get a bump, great. If they don't get a bump, whatever, but they're going to get bumped. And if they don't want to stay for, the binder method strategy, if they don't want to stay for 2,600 or 2,800, I'll put it on market and get 31. So yeah, worst cases, I'm making 20. Likely I'm making 28 or 29. Best cases, I'm making 31. Well, not even best case. Market case, I'm making 31.1% return on my capital. So on Shamir, when you say 13.4, it will take you 10 years to get your down payment. Yeah, so now it will take me 3 years to get my down payment back. Yep. MLS deal. And they priced it based on the fact that one side was vacant and that they thought that their rent was 2,000. They thought the other side was 2,000. Quite frankly, I could have paid 600. I could have paid 600 grand for this building and been thrilled. Still thrilled. I just did it based on what I could get it for. And Don, to your point, yeah, as long as it works with your model, who knows what is overpaid for something. Totally agree with you. I know that there's products out there. I know there's people out there that have bought stuff that I thought was an overpayment, but that was based on my model, it being an overpayment. They actually got a great deal because they're short-term rentaling the property. Not this one, but obviously another one. They were short-term rentaling the property. I think that that's a nice idea and they're going to make plenty of money on it so long as short-term rentals stay as hot as they are right now. So who knows? Shamir, bless. Agents aren't investors. Yeah, no kidding. They don't run the numbers we run as investors. 100% agree. That's why I tell you that 80% of real estate agents are garbage. 15% of them can do the job and they're all right at their job. And 5% are really good, where if you're selling to an investor, wouldn't you want to be able to, at least if you're trying to find deals or create deals, understand what some of your investors' models are and what they expect for returns and things like that? I don't know. I would think that'd be a good idea. So yeah, so that's the deep deal dive on this one. There's another one that I have. We'll see how it goes, but I'll probably be able to show it to you guys next week. We closed on that one a couple weeks ago. This was the one that I had all the data and documentation ready on. So we closed on the other one a couple weeks before this, and that one also rented in 3 days for pretty strong numbers as well. I don't think it's a 31 return. Is it? No, that one's not a 31% return. I think that one's like 28 or 29. I mean, it's crazy returns though. Yeah, crazy returns. Yes, indeed. Any questions? Excuse me. Any questions on the deep dive? do the stop share. There we go. Any questions on the deep dive? Oops, there we go. Do you allow an entity or investor to do Airbnb if they have a lease with you? No, no subletting. Nope. Nope. So like arbitrage, Airbnb arbitrage. Nope, not interested. I like slow and steady winning the race just way too much. Just way too much. All the people doing Airbnbs have taken out so much of the available units in the market, like so much. I mean, think of it like in my market, probably 200 listings are Airbnb, 200. Those were all long-term rentals before. They're gone. They're gone. They created an awesome market for me. I mean, helped create, right? Yeah, they're all gone. It's kind of crazy. How do you obtain the housing number? So Jay Markey, so you can contact, depending on the state that you're in, you can contact the county. And if the county doesn't, usually the county says, hey, here's our housing departments and here's the contacts for the housing department. Look up your city and look for housing authority or Section 8 or voucher program. You can look up all those things. Usually you'll find a point of contact at that housing authority, and then you can just call them and say, hey, can you guys send me a copy of your most current rate sheet? And then they'll send you a copy of that. They'll probably want you to talk to somebody first and say, oh, are you considering using us for some units? You'll say, yep, I am. I'm considering using you for some units, but I'd like to understand what your rate sheets are, what's included, what's not included, the overall pricing, blah, 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 blah. Because they literally break it down like here's how much per, if you do bag trash or electrical heat or whatever. But you can get that spreadsheet right from them. And so I always use that number as my worst case scenario. That's just my worst case. My worst case. Worst case scenario is I can only get housing rents. Worst case. Yeah, so that's what I do. Eric Weiss, what was the name and number to the flooring guy you used in California? He's actually in Vegas. Give me 1 second. Marty the flooring guy. Marty the flooring guy, American Flooring Corporation. He's not a sales guy. He's a principal there, actually. 725-212-8610. 725-212-8610. American Flooring Corporation. That's Marty's cell phone number. Marty the flooring guy. Yep, that'll help you. Hip Harp Silver, great work, Matt. Hey, thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, great deal. Great deal. Love the deal. I mean, anytime I can get over 20%. I mean, guys, come on, 20% would be crazy. Anytime I can get over 20%. So obviously you didn't see in my spreadsheet, you didn't see, I had the $5,000, but that $5,000, I'm not going to spend all that $5,000. So I'll just kind of that kind of will, can kind of go back into a till. Vacancy, I don't have to account for because I don't have vacancy rate. And maintenance and repairs and costs and things like that. I have to see what the first year what the year holds. Because when we went through it, everything has been updated, done, maintained. I can look at it and say, okay, take whatever, $150 or $200 a month and $2,400. And that's going to affect it, $2,400 over the course of the year. So down from 39 and change down to 37 and change. And that changes my rate of return to, 28% around there. Yeah. Oscar Quizada. Hey, Oscar, I've never seen you on before. Super excited to have you on. Appreciate it. Morning, guys. Excellent show. Like always, don't ever stop. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Eric Weiss, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Janelle, when cashing out to recycle capital, if it brings your yield from 10% down to 2%, do you still recommend doing it? You don't have to cash out that much. You don't have to cash out that much. So, no, I don't like 2%. I don't like 2%. Nope. What is the, yeah, I don't like 2%. So I would just take less. Just take less. Janelle, I would take less. Most markets are oversaturated with Airbnb listings and are one pen stroke away from being outlawed by certain counties. You're exactly right. I feel sorry for those purchased for the sole purpose of Airbnb. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yep. The city that I'm in, I'd be shocked if they ever outlawed them. Only because we are right next to a college town and the college town outlaws pretty much everything. They're brutal. It's brutal to be a landlord in that town. It's a hard pass for that town. I am not interested in owning property in that town. It's just an old town. And they just forget that they have a state university in their backyard, which is just dumb to me. But yeah, I mean, right now there's no, we might get to the point where we change our strategy too. I mean, we did it. We were all college kids. We were 80%. 3 years ago, we were all college. We were 80% college kids. I say all, but we were 80% college kids 3 years ago. Now we are 10%, 12% college kids. When COVID hit and kids started getting sent home from school, I wasn't going to put us at risk of the next year, them going through all that again and whatever school looked like. And so, yeah, so when the great health event occurred, yeah, I just wasn't going to manage the business through that the same way. And so we just did it differently. So that's how we did it. And we still had plenty of a niche. So yeah, so it was good. Awesome. I think that's all of the questions. So yeah, so Janelle, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't get down to 2%. I would just take less money, but whatever the number is that you feel comfortable, it also depends on how much you have in reserves there too. So just adjust it based on that. Excellent. Well, guys, it's been a blast. It's been a super fun Sunday hanging out with you guys. Believe it or not, I got a couple tenant issues that we got to take care of. We got a frozen pipe. So I will keep you guys posted. When you budget 5% vacancy, do you pay taxes on it if you include it in your taxes, even if you don't use the money? So your taxes are paid based on your income, not based on what your reserves are. So yeah. So if it's you're $1,000 in rent, $500 is your cost basis. You can't take out reserves out of your cost basis. It can only be actual realized losses. Yeah. So I'm not an accountant, so I could be wrong, but I've never seen, because it's still your money. It's still going into account. So you still pay tax on it sitting there. So yeah. So that's everything, guys. In a previous life, you briefly touched on having a clean offer will affect the appraisal on LTV. Could you elaborate on this some more, please? Yeah, sure, Kenny, I'll do that for you. Yeah, so I feel like that I don't, so a clean offer can affect, a clean offer doesn't affect the appraisal, but the appraisal or the LTV. I would need some more detail on how exactly I said that, just because I don't feel like I said it that way. I could have, but if I did, I would say that's wrong. Theta Head, you're welcome. John Mark, you're welcome. You guys are welcome. Don, good seeing you as always, my friend. You're welcome. So in a previous live, you briefly touched on having a clean offer will affect the appraisal and LTV. You could elaborate on this some more, please. I mean, I guess in any deal, but when you make an offer, like I think when you're refining, you know, your house, you know, your house being on point is certainly stronger than when it's not. That could affect the appraisal and the LTV that you can get for your property. On a purchase, though, on a purchase, I don't know how that would work. If you have it somewhere where I said that or something like that, just let me know. I do want to answer your question. I'm not trying to dodge it. I just don't know what context it was. Sorry. Jennifer Mania, thank you so much for your time today. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much. Eric Weiss, you might be the only person to ever pronounce my name correctly. Pronounce it like vice principal. Yeah. I can't believe people mispronounce your last name. Yeah. Vice. Is it German? Eric? Maybe? German, Austrian, something. Yeah, so Kenny, if you have something like that for me, just shoot me that. I'm happy to. German, yes. Yeah, thought so. Yep. Yep. I have an easier time pronouncing the European and Russian names. I'm Russian, come from a Russian family. Ashka, yeah. Yeah. Latvian. Okay, yeah, sure. Yep. Yep. Baltic region. Sure. Cool. Guys, have an awesome weekend. Appreciate you. It was a lot of fun hanging out with you and look forward to next Sunday. I'll make sure you watch out for Dion Talk Financial Tuesday night, 4:00 Pacific, 7:00 Eastern. He'll be doing his live stream. I'll be on One Rental at a Time on Tuesday with Mike. Thursday, Three Amigos. I think we'll still be doing in the afternoon. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. And then hopefully Friday we'll get Mike back on the show. I was the one who canceled this last time because it was nuts with the cold weather. So yeah, appreciate all y'all. Have a great week. Look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Take care.